Maybe I could go into voice acting.
That's gonna have to be you. I didn't fucking see anything.
You didn't watch anything.
I didn't watch anything.
This week we're gonna be talking about.
Do you know the top 8 and
the
stuff?
Colin Melbourne.
Okay. Yeah, as long as you have like that, we can.
That's good. And as Aussie myself, I did happen to be there.
Fucking Bailey.
I don't know if you happened to catch it, but I was the one playing the Didge in the background.
The Didge.
For all you non-Didge players out there, that's Didgeridoo.
He actually has a didgeridoo, guys. Like a real, actual didgeridoo.
I do, dude. I like
you didgeridoo.
I didgeridoo fucking do. Now you'll have to play Fort with us, dude. Every time we get like a dub or something like that, I celebrate by like a Didge, like. Or like our buddy Drew will be playing Siege, and he's like, "Fuck, we're on a losing streak, Bailey. We need it, man."
Dude, I could totally picture that loading into a game, and you just hear it out of nowhere, just in the
imagine joining the lobby. You're just like
game chat.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Big Deck Energy, episode 14. This week, we're going to be talking about our week in Fab, the Calling Melbourne, and some upcoming meta shifts, especially in relation to some of the recent Living Legend crossing and what we see coming with that.
Yeah.
Let's just kind of get right into it then with our week in Fab. What did you boys do?
Well, to start the weekend off on Saturday, there was a Saturday PQ that we had, but none of us went to. It was a draft. We went to our armory instead to prep for CC the next day on Sunday today. Yep. And, armory was good. I ended up playing Fi, went 3-1, lost to an Arachne in the finals. His deck just lined up super well and played way better than mine did. Yeah. Not much I can say otherwise, but, had fun, played well. Did not get to play in the PQ with you boys. Had some other stuff going on today. So
for sure, yeah.
But how about you guys? How'd the PQ and Armory go for you guys?
My Armory, I only got to play the 3 rounds. I had to leave after the 3rd round. Went 2-1 on Azalea. Azalea's been treating me pretty well. I was happy to play her today. Gosh. What was it? Cliff, was that you?
What the fuck was that, Cliff?
That was my response to you happily playing as they
that did not sound like that. It sounded happy, but
it didn't sound like a response.
It's kind of mutter.
It was more. I went nonverbal for that one. Sorry, you guys aren't at my level. You plebeians.
That's fair. You had to drive all the way to Duluth
Cliff,
today.
how
so
baked
we'll
are you already?
No, the potatoes are in the oven.
No.
So not there yet. I went 2-1 in the Armory.
Still cooking.
We actually had all 4 of us there for the Armory this time, right?
We did, yeah.
That was the first time in a long time. Cliff came down, finally. Can we get a freaking hype in the chat? Hey, yeah.
Let's go, Cliff.
Good job,
Finally
Cliff.
made it.
Woo!
We got to all be in shop for the first time in a long time. That was
unfortunately
awesome.
not all in studio, but...
Yeah, right. That'll happen eventually.
I'll move the studio up
Cliff.
here then, Todd.
Shame.
Hey, I've been up there a couple of times.
What about you, Bailey? What were you on?
Yeah, so I also got the chance to play in the Armory and the PQ this week. I was on Icelander for both. Looking back on it, I went 0-3.
No Vinny Vincent, huh?
I
no
went
Dami
0-3.
Mommy?
I should have. Like, looking back on it, I've been cooking with that deck lately. And I was like, I want to play Icelander. Like, went 0-3 at the Armory, and that should have been my sign. That should have been my sign right there.
Oh, no.
Played her at the PQ today. My first match was the mirror match. I was like, fucking A. That,
only a couple
I've
Icelander
probably
in the
played
room.
The mirror match like the least amount of times too. Like, just because nobody around here really plays her
too much, yeah.
So
it's not necessarily like enjoyable either. Like,
it was just a
lot
I
of-
ended up
yeah.
conceding to the guy.
Yeah.
We were down to like 5 minutes left in the match. I
Yeah,
was
I think
I'd been stuck on like 5 or less health for like 5 or so minutes. And I was like, dude, like I got nothing. Like I can't sit here and just keep blocking out, but like
your deck was
can't.
also like very low. I saw.
Yeah, I just wasn't hitting things when I needed them. Like my attack actions were either coming in groups, and they're all reds. So like if I end up with 2 of them in hand, that's 2 reds. Maybe a third, like if I'm really unlucky.
Yep.
So then I'm getting into like awkward situations where it's like, well, if I play my arsenal card, like I can't attack with this, and then like I don't have a blue to arsenal. Or they were coming up like every 3 or 4 turns where it was like not consistent enough to really get any momentum going. I was like, this is rough.
Yeah, our whole crew.
Like, it happens.
Yeah, our whole crew started 0-1 today.
Really?
Yeah.
We all started 0-1 today.
Some of us managed to claw our way back from the jaws of defeat. I did not. My second matchup was into Reinar, which I think might
Again,
actually
just
be the worst fucking matchup for Icelander.
True.
Talk about just getting 2 of just some bad matchups.
Who's your
Bailey.
second matchup on Reinar? Who'd you play against?
I don't know.
I actually don't. I didn't recognize that guy
He was a newer player.
There was
Like,
dude. There was 56 players at our PQ. Let's just say that. I mean,
It was capped at 60, right?
dude. I think so. 64
Yeah.
maybe.
Yep.
60 or 64.
Well,
something
they
like that.
raised it like once or twice.
Well, there was
didn't they?
2 spots left when I looked.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it'd be.
And then Nathan Moe couldn't come. I know that.
Yeah.
That would have been like 6 of us, I think, in the shop. It
Yeah.
was-
That
it
would
was
have been
crazy.
awesome.
I know.
You
was
would have
still-
changed everything for us.
And out of
Oh,
50,
Lexi, that's true. You would have.
Dude,
You would have brought
It's all
Lexi.
his
I
fault.
ended up
I
giving
blame you,
Tanner
Nathan.
the free win in round 3 too, because like I guess my like drop didn't go through or something.
Yeah. He came up to me afterwards.
Yep.
I'm like, "Who'd you play?" Or I was like, "Did you win?" He's like, "Yep." I'm like, "Who'd you play?" He's like, "Bailey." I'm like, "Didn't Bailey leave?" He's like, "Yeah, but it just paired me into him, I guess."
So I was like, hey, good for you, buddy. At least I helped someone today.
Some rated wins, baby.
But yeah, no. So like my second matchup into
Bailey,
Reinar,
it sounds like you helped
he
3
was
people total.
a newer player. He was playing well though. Like he knew the deck. And there was one turn I got like quadruple intimidated. He like double barraging into like some other like 6 power attack that intimidated and like discarded for Reinar.
Yikes.
And I was just like, what the fuck
Yeah.
am I supposed to do?
Like you said, it's probably one of the worst matchups for her. Last year, playing a lot of Icelander, playing those Reinars in the Battle Hardened was, I mean, they ruined my day.
Yeah,
you know?
like-
I was
like-
cooking, but they just,
you're forced into
Intimidate-
situations.
intimidate is
I guess,
huge.
I guess Wizards hate brutes.
they want,
I mean,
well, Icelander specifically, they want to block. I guess
Yeah.
Kano wants to block too. I mean, Icelander wants to be blocking with every card except for the one in Arsenal, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of times. Or
Yeah.
they block
Yeah.
with 2, they use the one for pitch, and then that last
And
card
he
is their
just
Arsenal
like
card.
disrupts that whole game plan because like even if they're only taking like 1 or 2 cards out, like half the time it's like the ones that you needed either to like pitch or that you wanted to play.
You're like getting stuck with cards in your hand on like your turn that you usually can't. I mean, Icelander's not the best at playing a full grip either. You know,
No.
she likes
Well,
to
'cause
play
nothing
the
has
one-
go again,
That's what I mean.
like-
Yeah. So you just get caught in these
Yeah.
weird like turn cycles against the Reinar. The Intimidate, I think, is just at its like it shines against Icelander.
yeah. See,
I
I was,
love
So
those
you started
matchups.
wait, you went 0-3 in the armory and then
well, okay, so I should have only gone 0-2,
right.
but I guess technically 0-3. Yeah. Fuck. God damn it, Tanner.
You ended up dropping and taking.
Yeah, I
calling
ended up
that-
dropping and
yeah.
taking. It was my younger brother's like birthday party today, so
That's
I
cool.
was
You
like,
got
I
to
mean,
still see
yeah.
it though, or go.
I was like, I mean, 0-2,
than
like
me.
I'm probably not getting anywhere anyways.
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
might as well just go spend the day with family. Not might as well, but like,
0-2 is like an automatic. You can't really make
Yeah.
it. 0-1 even. Did I feel like I don't think I've ever started the day 0-1 and like topped the tournament. I've
No.
always been there and like been on the bubble, and then because of the 0-1, have been kicked out.
been kicked out
Yeah.
or something. Yeah. No, you're very right.
Cliff,
Yeah.
what about
what
you?
about you, Cliff?
Yeah,
Which
you
is the
did.
sad
Did you play
thing.
an armory before the? Oh yeah, you were here.
Yeah, I played at the Armory yesterday. What,
Wasn't
you
it
don't
just
remember me?
you that said, "Hey, all 4 of us were in the shop this weekend"?
Hey, hush! I have this Benjamin over
Yeah.
here.
Benjamin?
Yeah, so I came down this weekend for the PQ and ended up having the time to go play in the Armory yesterday. And you know, I probably should have played my new dash list at the Armory because I had just put it together that week and only run it into a couple of games into West. But I really wanted to play Riptide, and it worked out
I was
pretty
very
good.
surprised. I thought
We all
you'd be
kinda
showing
gave you
up
the
with the
side eye.
dash, like
Yeah,
just
we all gave you the side
what
eye
are we
for-
doing here? But I also
Which
wanted to
is-
see it. I wanted to see it in action.
Yeah, how did it treat you today? What was your record?
So I started poorly. I ended up 3-3, so not
All
great.
right.
But
It's
There
better than
was,
some of us.
No, I mean you had a chance to
There's-
4-2 though. So I mean you were playing for positive.
that last game was against Ben Cunningham, another dash player.
Ben Cumming.
When we sat down, we were just shooting the shit, and yeah, we were doing some blocking shit, but for the most part, it was go at it. I threw a Max V turn, and he goes, "I hope you like Max V," and I just looked at him, looked at Arsenal, and I went, "Yeah, I like playing it."
Ben is a good dude. It's
is.
always just a good time playing against him, and he's one of the guys
Yeah.
that you can always bet on seeing at the PQs and stuff
Oh, yeah.
in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I've
Cliff,
always-
you
I actually got a
only
chance
good
to play him today,
experiences.
too, yeah.
only good experiences.
You saw some fellow Duluthians there too, didn't you?
Duluthian?
Yeah,
Is that the
Garrett
term?
and
It is now.
Yeah, shout out to those guys, dude. Garrett was actually the very first person I've ever played in a sanctioned Flesh and Blood event, like 3 years ago. He would
Really?
yeah,
shit.
yeah. It was at an armory in Mankato, a Blitz armory in Mankato.
He would drive down from Duluth.
Yes, he'd
Holy
stay at one of our locals. Actually, it was one of the old Outcast Saving guys. They were
Oh,
buddies.
really?
Yeah, they knew each other from
Wow.
like Star Wars.
Dane or
It was
Blake?
Jason. It was Jason.
Jason?
Him and
Was
Jason knew
Jason?
each other, and then yeah, Garrett would come down, stay with Jason, and go to the armories and then drive back to Duluth at the end of the weekend and stuff. But yeah,
That's
I
some
saw him today, and I was
dedication.
just like, dude, this is
What's
the
up?
best. Yeah, like because it just
That's like the best part about like these PQs and like these
it's
bigger
it's the
event
people,
stuff.
man.
Like,
It's the friends.
it is. It's always a good environment. Great people here in Minnesota too. I've never had very few dull moments.
Yeah,
in the
I
Fab
know. It's
community.
always such a good time.
It's a great
Yeah.
time. But so Cliff, you didn't say what you went in the armory. What'd you go in the armory with Riptide?
I was 2-1 with Riptide. I ended up losing to the same Arachne that got you because my Riptide deck does not like playing other fatigue decks.
Yeah, yeah.
I
can see that.
built it when I was building it. Like I was playing Phi a lot, so I built it to deal with really aggro decks. And yeah, I can do the defensive gameplay for more mid-rangey decks and be a nuisance that way. But for full-on other aggro or other fatigue, my deck just kind of goes bleh.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Enjoy
I did,
playing Riptide. I can't believe you
trap
actually
killed
enjoy
Kellen.
playing Riptide, Cliff. That's
I love it so much.
Dude,
He's
his
so
ability
fun.
is actually so strong.
it is.
Yeah.
It's insanely good.
It's crazy.
It is good, I will say. And he does have good turns, and he can play the fatigue game. My first matchup in the armory actually was against Kellen, another one of our locals. He was on
You had
Riptide.
no
he
business
also
winning
on
that
Riptide?
fucking game.
He was on Riptide.
I love that we had two.
the fact that we had
You
two
should've
Riptides just
lost
out
that
of
game.
nowhere, too.
I walked away with that game like a bandit. I
Off your
definitely,
Razor?
Yeah, I definitely.
Dude,
should not
shout
have
out to
won that
Razor
game.
and Fire.
Dude, Razor and Fire.
You've talked about that before. I remember
It's
you
good.
actually like specifically talking about that card. In
Because
Fire.
it targets every card.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it works a lot better in like
Do you just have the one of or like two?
I run two. yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's,
I typically run it for like, in case I have a big turn and I can go off. You really run it for like the belittle minnowism and like some of your other
Playing
turns.
it on
if
a
it's-
snatch.
Yeah, things like that. I love playing it on a snatch.
oh yeah. It's
But in the
best.
end game,
or
I
like
mean,
an
like
E-strike. You have E-strikes in the
I
deck?
do.
Yep.
Yes,
It's always
draw a
good, draw
card.
card.
Yep.
With the razor.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the
So
good
that
old
one's good.
Traditional.
Just a
welcome to Wraith combo.
Yep. It's a gas turn, honestly.
Dude, I know, I know.
It's good.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, you
I
see
did
it in
that
the late game.
Welcome to Wraith draft once.
Dude, you
Oh,
see it in late game, and when you have a Razor Reflex and a blue in hand with Searing Emberblade, people snap block that so fast. Do not expect the Razor, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And I just dropped the Razor, hoping he didn't have a trap in hand, and he perked up after that happened, and he goes,
His face when you dropped that razor was amazing.
I felt so bad. I felt so bad. Kellen, that was a great game, buddy. Honestly, that was. I didn't think I had you
it
there.
feels sneaky to fucking win off a razor. Dude.
I know.
It does.
I felt so bad
Or
too.
just any react.
But it was a great game. He almost fatigued me. I think I only had like 5 cards left in deck.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
You had 5 cards in your deck, including the 4 in hand.
true. So 9, I guess. Yeah. Wild.
One thing I wanted to shout out to you, Josh. I wanted to kind of like try to sneak a picture of it. Well, I didn't get a chance to today. I saw a Decimator Axe Dory today.
Yeah.
Believe they top 8'd.
Yeah. Run it up, dude.
So, and talking to his friend, he was saying that he'll play Dawnblade against a lot of like the Dromeyes and stuff, and decks that you want the Dawnblade, and then they just switch to Decimator Axe in the sideboard for the fatigue plan. Throw the remembrances in there, and it's just a fatigue deck.
What the hell?
Any top 8.
I mean,
and it
most
made me
of-
think of you. You've been working on that
dude.
deck,
Most
haven't
of here's the thing. Most of the buffs are all the same, except for like Felling Swing. The one that gives it +6 or
so
whatever.
they
it is,
target
but-
the axe.
Yeah, that specifically
so
target.
when
But
you-
that's your sideboard tech that you just would sideboard in, and then your 3 remembrance. And
Have you
that's your
seen the price
fatigue.
of remembrance?
It's up.
It's like
Is it?
$14.
Yeah, it's
What
up.
the hell?
Yeah, they used to be like 80
Oh
cents.
boy.
They were nothing.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah,
I used to
that
actually
card
have
was
like 7
cheap.
or 8 of those. I gave those out like candy. Anytime anyone needed a remembrance in the shop, I'm just like,
Farbs.
you can just have
Farbs,
this.
look at the first edition remembrance foil that you got there, buddy.
Does he actually?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rainbow
Yeah.
foil.
He ripped that out of his
Alpha
pack?
Remembrance, yeah.
What the fuck, Farbs?
What a lucky bastard.
But no, I
Like
was
I
talking
can
to
see
Cliff
the
sooner.
like gears turning in Ty's head right now. He's like, how
Oh,
do I get
no.
my hands on that?
Nah, it's
He's
a
good
little
on
out
that.
of my price range.
Hey, that'll come after the
It's
gold
only like
foil
150.
bullseye bracers.
That's a little out of my price range, Josh.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
That'll come after the gold foil bullseye bracers.
But
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
so
yeah.
Cliff was telling me about that decimating great axe, and
Mm-hmm.
dude, honestly, like the value game with that, people are so used to blocking Dawnblade Dory, but the great axe is just it changes the whole thing.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
changes your whole perspective.
Yeah.
Where your first card that you block with is halved. Insane.
Yeah, I think that's like really, really strong.
So
and
it's
it's
like
great for fatigue.
Yeah,
Isn't
different
it just
things.
one blue?
Well, it turns all your 3 blocks into
It's
like
a
2
2 for
blocks
4.
the first one.
Yeah.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts.
I love to see those kind of like off the beaten track decks, do well. A lot of Riptides today, even. There's a
Cliff
Riptide
said-
mirror I was watching.
Really?
What?
Yep.
A Riptide mirror there?
What is up with this like resurgence of not even like a resurgence?
No, I
a
think what people are
surgence.
doing, I think what
Hey,
people are doing is they're
Riptide's
getting ready
sneaky
for
good.
they're getting ready for Lexi being gone. So they're just switching to the other Rangers, seeing if they can still utilize the cards they have, and
I
and
suppose,
if
yeah.
they're viable, and
Nah, I've been telling you guys, Riptide's sneaky good. He's sneaky good.
I don't think he's ever been bad, dude.
Yeah.
A lot of Riptide games come down to the wire. I've noticed it's not like
They do.
It's not like you get blown out or whatever. And anytime I play against a Riptide, it can be frustrating sometimes.
I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
half
his
the time
ability on its face is just so good.
I feel like half the time his battle is time. I mean, just like trying to beat the time, and I feel like a lot of games do run to the very, very end of of time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, one of our locals, Elijah, and I were talking about his traps and how they I wish like they would have just given him like a sink below type of
The
effect.
4 trap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 4-block trap.
Yep.
And a lot of the traps do have that hidden value of like pinging for the extra
Rock
damage.
slide, baby.
Well, a lot of it,
Rock
yeah,
slide is
like Codex
amazing.
of Frailty is worth like a ton of value against Alexi. It's like worth like 6 or something. Boulder Trap's worth like 5 against the Bravo or something.
Yeah.
So you're getting like more than 4 value out of some of them.
I mean, you think about even back to
Pinging
like,
them for 1 damage.
even
too,
back to
you know?
outsiders. I mean, like Ninja, even when they're getting their combo turns off, most of their attacks are getting buffed. So it's like, I mean, his traps just play well into just a lot of different game plans. You can sideboard your traps to be into specific game plans. And
Yeah,
it's very
I think you get to
Dude.
use them like a toolbox, which I love about the Rangers. You get to use them at their sideboard's like huge, and then like the more decks that leave, the more slots that open, and the more traps you get to play, the more
Yes.
flexible your sideboard gets to be, or whatever. I think if they give Riptide a sink below type of a red, sink below block 4 that has like a ping, so you can like. I'm not saying it has to be sync below. You don't need to draw a card off of it. I'm just saying a D react that actually blocked for 4, and then you can trigger it to deal the 1 damage. Like I think that makes Riptide it puts it.
I have an idea.
I think that's what like their whole game plan. Like when you block with a trap or something like that, you put a card into your arsenal because you're playing it from hand half the time, right?
Yeah.
So after you play it from hand and you put it in there, that's the whole point of Trench, is to send it down and gain a resource. Because I mean
that's just like you pitching the card anyways, though.
Yeah.
I suppose.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's what like their goal was behind Riptide.
I think
was,
they
like,
probably
just to
tested
cycle.
they tested some of the traps at 4 block, and they probably just thought it was too strong. Would be my guess. Because like, why don't
Now,
we get
listen
any
to my
4 blocks?
idea for a trap.
I mean, they get to play sync below.
Well, I mean,
Foreseen.
a 0 for 4 block is absolutely insane. It's unreal.
You make it cost 1.
I don't think they'll
You
ever
make
like
it cost
reprint
1 for
or-
Riptide.
Yeah, no. So yeah. Then you're just like,
Because what you can do is you can have another legendary Riptide specialization. Majestic red trap blocks 4. If it defends an attack with go again or something, this time create a ponder instead of like the sink below effect. But it costs 1. So it's incentivizing you to have a card in arsenal to just sweep it out with trenched in order to play that trap.
I mean,
But when again, isn't that just the same as pitching the card to play the trap?
I don't know how the
Yes
hell
and
we
no,
got on this
because
Riptide
I don't know.
rabbit hole, but-
We got
Because with
we saw a
trench,
couple
you're
of them
able
today,
to
but-
stick anything in arsenal, and then you can just trench it out and get the resource and the value.
yeah.
Because then when you play your trap, then you get your arrow in, and
yeah.
normally you just use the trench resource to flip it for the aim counter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are trying Riptide out. I think that's kind of like that resurgence. People are just switching over from Lexi to Azalea or Riptide.
I think some people are
Let it be
probably.
said here, I was on him first.
I know. I think people are still trying to get Riptide to be kind of aggro almost to fill that Lexi void, like we said a couple weeks ago.
I don't think you can build that deck aggro.
You never know. Watch somebody do it.
I just mean like the bow. Like none of your arrows still have go again. It's kind
That's
of like
true.
the Azalea problem. Like you
That's
either
true.
go tall or you like run Falcon Wings and shitty Sikkim shots and shit like that. You know.
Yeah. You're seeing a lot of. I mean, if you watch any of the streams of like some of the bigger events, like the Calling Melbourne, you see a lot of funky decks. Let me tell you. I'll talk more once we get into that.
Dude,
segment,
I think Fab
but
in general is like that though. People really get to personalize their lists, man. It's not
and
like
they
you can
like
just
it too. I mean, like
it's not like you can just like copy a list, any top 8 deck list, even from Worlds. Like go take that to your like locals a bunch and
most of the time it's like you put cards that you like mostly into the deck.
sideboard plans with all that shit that
Dude,
the
I run-
pilots know that the players don't.
Not a lot of people like it. I
general
run
community
Take the
doesn't.
Tempo and Phi.
Yeah.
Like that. I think it's a great card if you can hit 3 times. It's just like another Salt the Wound almost to an extent. Just you have to draw it, and if you hit, you get a 6-card hand if you have an arsenal.
Razor on a Take the Tempo.
Yeah, dude.
It's pretty good.
But you do have to hit 3 times. But you still get to razor it and then play the card.
Oh, I guess
from,
that's a lot of
yeah,
a
but
lot to ask.
but I mean, it's still good. I mean,
Yeah.
if you can get it to go off, or you can have like a 6-card hand your next turn, wonderful, beautiful. It's immaculate.
Cliff, did you want to get into some of your matchups?
Yeah, sure. So game 1 was just into a Dory. And, I've played enough Dory, courtesy of Josh, that I know how that game goes. It's can I kill him before Dawnblade becomes too much of a
wow.
problem?
Did you? No? Did you learn the
No.
gameplay enough?
There's a card called Glistening Steelblade. You should probably look it up. Needless to say, it didn't end well. He killed me the turn before I would have had this amazing turn, which is just how she rode. But round 2, I ended up playing into tie. He was that guy that I was very concerned about, just sitting there, kind of got a crazy
Yeah,
look in his
what
eyes.
all went down with that? I saw like a judge call or something.
Yeah, I mean, I see Flesh and Blood posting about this Tyler guy all the time. I hear a lot of
Did you
concerning
guys finally
things.
see it?
Yes.
Did you finally see it this last week?
What?
It was because of that when I saw him there. I had to call Danny over and I informed him that like I felt unsafe, and Danny told me to concede. So.
Oh, dude, what?
Shout out to Danny. Thanks, Danny.
Hey,
Got my
Danny.
back.
That was fucking hilarious.
You did great. I was like a little surprised to see him there. Like,
Oh, you mean
It was
judging?
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would have thought he would have been playing or something.
I thought so too.
I
And then
forget that he just like judges too.
that
Like,
was, I think, the first time he judged at like an event in Minnesota.
yeah, because he judged at.
He's going down to the. He signed on as a an emergency judge. He told me, I think. So if
Okay.
they needed one, he was there as a backup.
Yeah.
But he did play.
I think I think I talked to Danny one time. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, Danny, if you didn't say this, but I'm pretty sure you said like you like to judge closer events because it's a lot easier to.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gonna travel somewhere, why wouldn't you play in like a big calling or something like that, or
Yeah.
any of the side events?
Yeah,
I mean,
He did a good job today. He was racing around the freaking place, man.
yeah. I saw him
Yeah,
everywhere.
he was super good.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, hey,
good job,
shout out
Danny.
to Danny.
Shout out, buddy.
So
Even
what?
though I
Wait,
wasn't
what
there.
happened in game 2 against that guy? You were uncomfortable against Cliff?
Oh my god, he was just. I don't know, man. He just the snark projectors were through the roof. He was over there licking his greedy little
Was he?
chops, and I don't. He had some
Dude.
sticky fingers too. It was just weird. Yeah,
My fingers
that
were
final
clean.
turn, that was just an
I just went to the
absolute
bathroom and washed them.
prime time for that remorseless to get thrown down.
Yeah. Yep. That's what won
Because
me the game for sure.
once again, you know, I'm on 7 health with a blood rot, and I'm thinking even if you hit me with an infecting and give me that second blood rot, I'm still gonna do enough to kill you before I have to worry about it. And then you slap a remorseless down, and I'm just like, well, that's that.
That's-
I think you were at like 15 or something, and then I like go again, arrow like a Bolton shot pumped, and then I
yeah,
loaded.
you hit me with a 7 power
Yep,
Bolton shot, and that
Bringing you-
dropped me to 7.
yep, and then I dropped a remorseless. I pumped it again somehow. I forget exactly how. I think it might have been another pump from hand. I saved for the remorseless, but I just knew like threatening that at that point he couldn't take the damage and then clap back without he would just take it and play a card and die or whatever. So it forced him to block and gave.
Honestly, I do
tempo, and we were
regret
both at
not
like
just,
super low life, and it was close. But
I do regret not just taking the remorseless and then killing myself by playing my attacks.
you,
I do regret that.
I think I
Death by
did
your
that
own
playing into
sword.
Kellen once. I was like on the ropes, and I was like, you know what? If I'm going out this game, I'm going out on my terms.
Yep.
But
Okay,
okay,
no, it
so
was
what,
a good
what-
game. My
what
my
were you
resident
saying-
ledgers like were.
What were you saying about this Tyler guy on the Facebook post?
okay,
What did they
sorry.
do?
No, dude. Every time Flesh and Blood will have like a discrepancy or like an example of a ruling or something where like this player A does
I don't
this
even
and
think it's like
player B
official
does
like
this.
LSS. It's like a like.
No, I'm pretty sure
No,
it
it
is. I'm pretty sure it's like ran by.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's like their page or whatever.
It's like run by like Flesh and Blood, and it's like ruling situations that they like
and
ask
it's
questions from
fucking
the community.
always about how Tyler will misplay and fuck it up.
Tyler
and
fucks up
how
every
does-
goddamn time.
A, B, or C, or all the above. Which one does? It's just,
Yeah.
He should get immediate ejection and not even know nothing said.
Get your shit together, Tyler.
Yeah, dude.
God.
So,
So
who?
what did they do?
No, they
it's-
just give
it's
examples all the
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's literally like weekly,
Oh, I thought
dude.
I thought
And
they
it-
like addressed
they-
it. I thought that maybe they've been
no,
hearing
no,
us
no,
talk
no,
about
no,
it.
No.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh my god.
That would be so funny.
I think they're just gonna do it now to spite you out of it.
I would love that. That means they're listening. That'd be great. Are you kidding?
So Cliff.
Yeah,
who-
so Tyler talked shit about us last week, so this week
No, I love you, LSS. We talk a lot of shit, but
that
We-
sounded
we
like
love
such a
this game so
panic. He's
much.
like, no, I love you, LSS.
I swear to God.
I'll never say anything bad ever again.
So Cliff, who would you have in round 3 then? After you played this mishap, Tyler.
After that, I was on to the Riptide I played today. And I ended the game at like 10, 11 health, but there wasn't a point in the game where I really felt threatened. Like, I felt comfortable that whole game. Like, the deck, like, my chains were feeling good. I was getting the utilization of items that I would hope I was getting. Like, everything just felt really good into that game. And at the end, it was just like, yeah, that's just how she rolls sometimes. There wasn't really much to comment on that game.
Yeah, your deck just kind of did its thing.
It just kind of did its thing. I will say what did feel kind of nice is that was the one game where people actually let Heist hit. Heist became a card pretty early on that I started using just to draw cards to block. As much as I want to try to get that ability to trigger on it, it is an extremely effective way to get people to sacrifice something out of hand.
Right.
Especially when that Riptide game, I think I started out with Pounder. Or no, I Goliathed it. That's how it got to 7. I started the chain with a Goliath Gauntleted Heist for 7. And the card I boosted off the top was a red boom grenade. So that drew 2 traps and a piece of equipment. And I was like, that is awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
So your
And then I
fourth.
proceeded to play a boom grenade from hand and blow it up on him on the next attack.
So your fourth game, who'd you have? You won your third game, right?
Yep, won the third game. The fourth game was into Tanner, another Azalea. And the beginning of that game was rough. Like the deck wasn't cooperating really, and mine was in the beginning.
Hey, glad to see he capitalized on the momentum off of my loss.
Good job on it. But towards the end, he started getting the shenanigans going with Red in the Ledger. And I think he was at like 7 life or something, and I was at 19. But then he just started shooting Red in the Ledger a bunch, and I just went, oh no. But we ended up getting there with Hanabi coming in absolutely clutch. 2 of my wins were from that gun today, actually.
He does this on purpose.
I know. Did you hear the pause?
Hanabi.
Did you hear the fucking pause?
What? No.
Oh, dude.
And then the final game today was into Ben, another original Dash player. And that game was just kind of, block when we want. Most of the time we were just eating damage and kind of just seeing who's got it.
Sure, yeah. That was
He
classic
ended up
Dash
shooting
versus
me with
classic
Tecmo
Dash, huh?
pistol.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a fun match, though.
Yeah, Ben's always a good time to play against. I got to play against him today, too.
So
He's actually, I think, the first guy that I played a competitive event against as a CC.
Oh, really?
When I had my
Way back
first
when?
iteration of Dash. Yeah. Doing the high octane Toma Fendel stuff way back then.
Sure.
Yeah, I got that off on him, and he goes, "Oh, that was sick," and then he killed me.
Hell yeah.
He's such a
So yeah,
nice
that's
dude.
how my day went.
He's just such a nice guy.
Oh, that's funny.
So Ty, how'd your matchups go? Who'd you have and who'd you play?
I played against a player I had never played against before, also named Tyler. In round 1, I played.
There's another
All
one.
these fucking Tylers, man.
I know it.
You guys are ruining the game.
They
man.
cannot be. They
All
can't
the
be stopped,
misplays.
dude.
I'm totally.
They're
All the
everywhere.
missed triggers.
Always
Actually,
two there
to be
are.
fair, I missed 1 tunic today, so that was. I still have yet. I don't think to do a like competitive level event like this and not miss a tunic trigger. But one's good for me.
Shame.
One's good for me,
Hey
dude.
man,
It was only one
it's
today I
in the
missed.
name. Just take it out how it goes. Sometimes it just can't happen.
No, I've been waiting to tell you this story though, Josh. This is
Always
just, like,
two there
Normally, this would have ruined my fucking day. Like going to these events. Round 1, I was the first game done. Shook his hand in like 5 minutes. And I did it to myself looking back. But I start the game, I win the die roll, I go second. Right away, that might be, I don't know. Against Dash, it's tough. They want to play items. I don't exactly know what type of Dash he's on. So, a lot of
Original
times,
Dash or Dash IO?
it was against OG Dash.
Okay.
But I picked second. I like to start the game with tempo. I don't necessarily like going first very much with Azalea. A lot of times I do. We'll try to blind sometimes into the dominated arrow or whatever. But I went second. I drop my hand. He presents a plasma mainline. Shout out to you, Cliff. I have 4.
I was on it first.
Yeah, okay. I draw up and I have 4 pumps in hand. And I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, please, for the love of God, attack me. Because I have no way to filter this, on his turn or anything.
Yep.
And he proceeds to play a crank or play a boom grenade, cranked it with the main line. Or cranked it, then with mainline he got
Still
to,
had
yep.
one more. Yep.
So and then played a tech low and Arsenal, and I'm just like, fuck. To my stomach just sank.
Dropped,
Yep. I'm just like, no, this is not just happening to me.
Turn 1, best
PQ
best
day
thing,
1, round 1, first turn, first hand.
Amazing.
I'm like, But here's where I went wrong. Instead of like filtering it at like instead of playing all of them, I kept two. I should have kept the 2 read the glide paths. There was 2 read the glide paths, a lace, and a pre-med or something. That's what it was. And I ended up just arsenaling in pass. Where I went wrong is I should have played 3 of them, arsenaled 1 of them, and then filtered that way.
Yeah.
Drawing up, hoping to hit an arrow. I still just like let him arsenal, put a fucking Teklo out and a boom grenade, and like now he has a 5-card hand with Teklo, so like basically a 6-card hand.
Yeah.
Like it's still bad for me, but I think I still lose that game. But I should have played all of those pumps to no effect.
Yep.
And then just like, but what I did is I arsenaled.
You just look at him and you just drop 1 pump, and then you look at him again, drop another pump, then you drop the 3rd one, and you just go pass.
You should have seen his face when I just passed. He was just like, "Oh my god!" He got like
He's
super
like,
excited,
"Whoa."
and I'm like, "Yep, here it comes,"
The variance in his
So I
area.
drop 1 card. It's a pump. I'm like, okay. I'm like, fuck, dude. And then he presents to, or he didn't have like the craziest turn after that. He had some items that he threw out there too at the end, but then I think I was at 22 after that. I took like 18. I mean, that's not. I mean, it's all, dude. 5-card, basically 6-card hand from dash. That's probably average, dude. Like,
That's true.
you know what I mean? And the
If
boom
you
grenade
got
hit. The boom
6
grenade
cards,
hit. The boom
dude.
grenade triggered. You know, so that's an extra 4 from the boom. That's like 14. The hand actually
Yep.
presented. You know, which is whatever. I was hoping to really like opt into like something that mattered. You know, obviously whatever, a knock of actually it couldn't have been knock, but red and ledger.
Yeah.
You know, anything. And so, anyways, and like I also couldn't really block well because they're all 2 blocks. It's just like I'm so much less incentivized to block with these 2 blocks. So on my turn, I have my cross wrap. I activate. I opt. It's a pump. It's another lace. So I'm like, put it to the bottom. I'm like, okay, here we go. I play one of my read the glide paths. I opt. It's another pump. I'm like, oh, I start to fucking shake in my boots. I'm like, oh my god. I put it to the bottom, dude. I play my 3rd read the glide path. It's another fucking pump, dude. So I put it to the bottom. I blind Azalea, my premeditate away, into a Rain Razors. So the top, the top
11.
10
however
to
many
11
however many
cards,
cards
yeah.
it was were all all pumped.
So rough.
And then the turn after that, he did Cliff's bullshit fucking spark of genius. Go find a crank, draw a card, do all the shit, and I'm just like, I just shook his hand and.
Did you literally just go?
Oh yeah. I didn't. Yeah, he didn't.
You just got cliffed.
just conceded in like 5 minutes, bro. It was so bad.
Also, I completely forgot that I played a Dromai today.
Oh, you did.
What?
Did you beat him?
Round 5. Yeah,
Oh,
round
yeah.
5.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
No, it was the Dromai was round 4. He was round 4.
Tanner was round 5.
Yeah, he was after, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, the Dromai game, I like that matchup personally. I didn't end up needing to pop any of his dragons because I just kind of killed him.
Yeah.
I had like a turn. It was 5 cards played with a Hanabi at the end of it for like 27 damage, threatening 30 some,
Damn, dude.
Cliff just
and then killed him with
rolls
Hanabi 2
dash.
turns later.
Yeah.
Like
I
he's
dodged
got
all the
that
Dromais
shit
today,
so figured
luckily.
out.
I did beat a Bravo though.
Hey.
Hey.
Round two, I played Cliff. That was a fun game. It was close. I won off the back of my red and ledgers though, for sure.
Okay, on that note, I want to say something real quick. Do you guys think it's weird how we go to a PQ and there's 60 people?
Yeah, we
And
always get paired
We
together.
always get paired
Yeah,
together.
that's
It's
just
because
like the shop.
Gem does that.
Are you sure?
Yes.
There's no way.
Gem helps cycle.
How do you know?
I've heard
Conspiracy.
I've
This is like conspiracy theories.
Let's put on our tinfoil
I've
caps.
heard
Where's the
that,
tinfoil?
like when you go to something like that, you get like they pair you up with people that you've commonly played with most of the time.
That's very weird.
Have you not noticed that every time we're
No,
at?
it feels like it. It feels like we always are
Who
paired
did
into
you
each
hear
other.
this from?
I heard it on a pod.
Probably from some dude named Tyler on one of those pages. Like,
Yeah.
Getting some mistriggers.
You never know, man. But no, I think I
Yeah,
heard it
so
on a
anyways,
pod
they
one
only
time.
pair us with people that we commonly play against, man. It's bullshit.
Well, it's not. It just like
No, it seems like it.
And
Anecdotally, it
it's
seems
also
like it.
skill level too, especially when you're in the like ELO ranking. Also, like
I don't know if we're doing that quite yet. I don't think they pair like based on ELO. Although someone said the pods that when we drafted that PQ last
The
weekend,
pods might be based
the pods
on ELO.
were based
Based
on
on-
ELO.
yeah.
Um,
like who you
so
play. Like
well, that
kinda
was
play.
just like who you drafted with, and I suppose that
guess.
is who you play with. And so
Right. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just a weird side note that I wanted to tinge on because
Yeah.
every time I'm at like a PQ or an RTN, I always play like our shop, like 3 of the guys that are at
Yeah,
our
it
shop
sucks.
out of like the 6 games.
Yeah.
Like I play them all the time.
Yeah.
Like nothing against you guys. Love playing you guys, but
no, it sucks to play against your homies at
Yeah.
the
At
you,
the
you don't,
big event.
you don't want to take an L against,
No.
or you don't want to like give an
Well, that's
L.
why
at
it sucked, dude. I was like joking with Cliff about how I get kicked him out of the tournament so we can drive home and we can record early, and he's like, no, I'm gonna. And he stayed and played and went 3-3. That's fucking good on him. But it sucks to like make one of the guys we came with like
Yeah.
0-2.
0-2,
One of
yeah.
us had to start the day 0-2 there.
Yep.
It's just like, ugh.
It sucks. It's a feel bad.
Right when I saw the pairing, I just like look at him. We're standing right next to each other too, and I'm just like, both of our heads just go up. We're just like, no. Just getting off a terrible loss too. And then I'm like playing another dash, and I'm like, could this possibly happen again? And I'm just like, please God.
I was
For the love
low-key
of God,
kind of
just-
hoping that it happened again, and then I
dude.
saw you pitch an arrow, and I just went, "Oh fucking!"
Yeah, I actually drew an arrow that turn. Fuck, man.
Did you like
Yeah, I
spread
saw-
shuffle your deck
Oh
after
yeah.
that? Like,
Oh
3
yes, I
times?
pile
would've,
shuffle,
like-
dude. And I normally do that at the start of every turn or every like tournament
Every
before
turn.
before. Yeah, could you imagine? And then I remember thinking maybe that's where I went wrong. I didn't actually just pile shuffle. Like the outcome could have been different. I just kept going back. Like, how did that just happen to me, dude?
Yeah, 10
And then I'm
pumps
like,
on the
oh,
first.
I have to play those out that turn.
Yeah.
And then hopefully draw into something that either blocks better or just, I took too much damage when I shouldn't have. And maybe
Yeah.
I even just block with all of the 2 blocks. And I don't know. It was a fucking
Yeah,
real
just dump
rough
your whole
couple
hand.
turns, man. I didn't attack him one time in the game, you guys.
Dude, that
By the time that I conceded, I had I had a codex in hand with no attacks in my fucking graveyard even.
Sucks that it happened into like
Codex
the
in, dude.
like
It was
uber.
just like how?
Sucks that it happened into like the uber aggro matchup too, because I think
Yeah.
even like a
I'm fine against
mid-range
Dash
kind of
for the most
matchup,
part.
like you can still at least try to recover from that.
My next match though, then I was 1-1, still alive. The next match I got to play against a fellow podcaster. That was pretty cool. I did not get to challenge him to golf or on your behalf. The
Logan-
whole golf thing.
Logan,
but
if you're hearing this, I was
totally
not able
spaced
to
it,
make
dude.
it there,
I
and I'm
spaced it.
a little disappointed in Ty. But yeah, he was supposed to mention that we're supposed to golf soon, but
we got to get a fab tourney going.
we got a space cadet
Dude,
on
a
board.
fab golf tourney would be dope. I feel like so much of the community golfs.
They do. I wish we would do like a golf tournament, dude. That'd be sick as shit. I know I've said it before, but
Yeah.
So how'd your
I
game?
play like
against-
ass there,
it
too,
was
but-
his rolls were on fire. I think it was either it was one turn he like rolled a 6 and fucking double attacked and then like warmongered at the end. So and I took all the damage thinking I'm gonna just return this like awesome red in the ledger all pumped up, and
Oh
it was just naked, just 5.
Well,
And it's
that's
like, oh.
interesting that he was on Reinhardt because he was like mentioning decks that he wanted to like.
No,
Play
he
potentially.
said he played Dromai the day before.
Oh, did he?
At a PQ, and it was just super exhausting. Which
Said
I
he-
mean, yeah, that you can imagine playing a Dromai
Yeah.
like in 2 PQs, back to back like that would be. So he actually even said he's like, I don't want to think. I just brought Reinhardt today.
Yeah.
Him and I kind of chuckled, and no, it was cool. Like I told him about the pod and stuff, and but he his Reinhardt was just cooking. By the time I brought him down. It was, I think I dealt like 17 in one turn to him. He just took it all, and he still ended up winning. He was at such a healthy life total at that point. But his rolls were really good. His freaking Skull Crushers were even online
Online the
one
whole
turn.
time?
No,
Yeah.
it was just like the one turn, but like that was the turn I think he rolled a 6.
Yeah, I guess he. I mean, it's 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So I guess yeah.
I don't think he ever like missed with a roll. Even his bark bone, is that what it is?
Yep.
Gave him
Instant.
a resource that he
Yep.
needed, for
Dude,
that turn to function.
I think a lot of people. I've been trying to tell Cliff on that card. Like Barkbone Strapping's really good in a pinch if you need it to be because
Yeah,
it's
like
an
poor
instant
man's heart and
speed. Yeah,
cross
it's
strap.
an instant speed too.
Yeah.
So, but
That's cool.
so
Yeah, lost to him. Shout out to Logan. It was a pleasure playing against you, bud. I was 1-2. Sean was 0-3 at that point, and he was fucking so hungry. And then him and I were back and forth on if we should drop, because I kind of knew I was probably dead,
Yeah.
losing round 1 like that too, and but we ended up staying and playing. I was happy that he, I could talk him into staying and playing and stuff. But next round I played
Dad, I'm hungry.
I played 3 bends today. What is going on? I just noticed that.
Holy cow.
I played another local, one of our locals, Guardian player, Benjamin Brock. He's a good dude. Played him before in prior PQs and stuff. Actually, I think I played him in the Battle Harden. That's where it was. He's a good dude. I don't know how I won that game. Honestly, I felt like his deck was just not lining up, and I feel like that's how I win the Bravo matchup as Azalea. End of the game, he had to block with 2 crippling crushes, and then flip the last couple cards of his deck after I beat him. And there was the third one, so all 3 of his crippling crushes were right next to each other, bottom of the deck.
Yep.
There was an interesting ruling in our game where Danny and Bates had ruled against what I was asking, and I was pretty sure I could do it. I didn't make a big fuss or anything about it, and it ended up not being relevant. But it was cool because Danny just came right up and was like, "Yeah, we were totally wrong about that." 2 minutes later, and it was just good on him to come and try to correct
apologize
it.
and
yeah,
the
it was
judges
awesome.
are.
It was awesome. Our judges did a pretty good job today.
I think we have glorified judges. They're amazing. They're awesome judges. We have awesome ones here in Minnesota. I think we need to praise them is the word I'm looking for. More.
Yeah,
because they do a great job.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
And the
I think Bates is
sincereness
stepping
behind
away from the whole judging / fab in general.
Is he really?
I think
Oh, really?
so. Yeah. He said he's just doing a lot of board games and stuff right now, and that's taking up a lot of his time.
He was in a Blood Bowl for a little bit. I know him and Jason.
That was one I always wanted to play. Yeah.
Blood Bowl, zombie brute football.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Sounds
dude.
so cool.
Sounds weird.
Anyways,
Flesh and Blood
back
podcast.
to this freaking Bravo matchup.
Yeah,
My
have we
fatigue
had our
shots.
weekly Lorcana segment yet?
No,
No, we haven't. No, we haven't. But yeah, I boarded in the 3rd fatigue shot today in hopes that it would help in that deck or against Bravo. I knew we had a couple of good Bravo players in the area and stuff, and that's just a miserable matchup most time for me. And the fatigue shots really came in handy. It seemed like a lot of times, though, it was forcing him to just block or attack with a Nothos for 6, and it was just this is still kind of, I forgot to really ask him if they were impactful with what he had in hand. Because if you can have that hit, and then if they're forced to play a crippling crush off their seismic with the 2 blues or something, which I don't think they do at that point, they probably just hammer, which is what he was doing. But the crippling crush comes in for 6. Then you just block with 1/3 block and you're fine. Doesn't crush.
Yeah.
It's fatigue shot just did all that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was kind of my sneaky tech, and it won me that game. Yeah,
worked well.
So it's cool to be right about some sneaky shit like that. I had
Having
3
a
of
good
them
deck.
in the deck.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of other Azaleas running that card. Just again, that's a metagame call. I expected to see a lot of Bravos today, especially at the top tables, man.
Especially now with all the Dromice running around, especially with the Imperial Flame, Imperial Tome of the Imperial Flame.
Tome is so much better than I initially thought.
Yeah,
It's great.
It is
I didn't think it was very
bonkers.
Good at all. Yeah.
It's good.
Again, my card evaluating
being able to gain ash off that while cycling and being able to just pitch for more.
It spells it out on the card, but it never processed that it specifically tells you to pitch the 2 cards that you have to toss away. So you still get the 2 resources.
Yeah, you get the resource,
and then it just turns on Furnace.
Yeah, because you pay 1
yeah.
to gain 3, which is insane. It's good.
It's so good.
Then you're sitting there with 5 resources.
I think it's
mean,
just
you get
the free
it-
ash.
does it-
It's
does
the
it
free
get
ash,
you-
I think that's what makes it
Does it get you
It's not free.
4
it's essentially
resources
free.
off the flame scale furnace? Does it get you 4?
3,
Or
because
3?
you'd pitch 2, so that's 2, right? And then you pay 1 with a card. If you pay
That-
1,
that gets you Tumultai, doesn't it?
yeah,
Yeah. So you get that off
and
of
then you still
1 card.
then you still have a 2 card or 3 card hand.
Yeah. I
It's
think
insane.
it was one of the Dromice at the shop that did that line to me, and I was like, holy shit, wait.
Do you guys want to hear about the
Alex?
weird line that was judged? Do you want to hear what it was?
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Super weird, but there's there was a turn where I had a yellow bolt and shot in Arsenal, and I had a pump and a memorial ground in hand, and I activated Azalea, looked at the top card, it was a Codex. The line that I wanted to do was to pitch to my Death Dealer with memorial ground.
Yep.
Fail to find. Basically, it was already a card in Arsenal. Most of the time when I do that, it's I don't have a card in Arsenal. That's why I called the judge over to ask if I was able to do that, because I wasn't 100% sure. I know I do it on Talishar all the time. I don't want to use Talishar as an example. I actually told Danny that. I said, like, yeah, it works on Talishar. I told him this afterwards. I didn't say this like during the judge call because I think it's just rude to argue
Interrupt
with the judge and just be like, no, I'm right. And
well, you don't want to make a scene.
No,
I mean,
dude,
there's no, you don't want to do
worth it,
that.
man.
It's not you
worth
don't
it.
want to do that. To the
but anyway,
community.
so like, yeah, I wanted to have one resource after I wanted to Azalea the Codex.
Yep.
And then put a fatigue shot in. Play the pump. I'd get the fatigue shot with the Codex. And then I'd have that one resource from pitching the Memorial Ground before. Because then I wouldn't have a card to discard, you know. I'd play the pump, and then Memorial Ground's already gone at that time. But then it was ruled that I couldn't do that. It was already a card in Arsenal. But it's not an actual additional cost to activate Death Dealer.
Yep.
So that's, so I had to, play the Codex, discard my Memorial Ground, and then find a 0 cost instead of the 1 cost fatigue shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which, you know, maybe was relevant in the turn, but I was happy to like still eke that game out and not have it
Still
really
get
matter.
the win on that one. Yeah.
It was. I don't get to win against Bravo much, man. I sat against
Bravo's a hard
sat across
matchup
from him
for
and I was just
Azalea.
like, ugh.
Really hard matchup.
Yeah. After that, I played against another Ben Cumming. Cliff played against him. We were just talking about him. Great dude. Also on Dash. Fuck, I played 3 Dash today.
Yeah.
6 rounds.
Original Dash.
Yeah,
too.
3 OG Dash. I was telling you
yeah.
guys, might be that, you know. I've been talking a lot to the Dash players about Bright Lights, and I will say a lot of them are like, I don't know, lukewarm on it. Like, it could be better. There's a lot of the sentiment I get, kind of.
I don't know. New
A lot of good
Dash
pieces,
just had
but
a
not enough.
Pretty nice showing it.
I thought so
Calling.
too, man. I don't know. I'm not a
is
mech player
true.
though, so.
That is true.
But that game was crazy. I took a ton of damage early on until I finally found my red and ledgers, and then they didn't stop, and I won the game. It was chunk damage, dominate red and ledgers with like one attack that I would take. So I went from like 20, like taking their hit. He would zipper hit me. He would like attack with a twin drive zipper hit, like so that he was still presenting 5-6 damage that I was taking per turn.
Yep.
But I was just hitting him with dominated red and ledgers down. I think it was like 20 to 40 at one point, or 25 to 40 or something, and then I won from that point. Yeah.
Gotcha. Just got your cycle going.
Yeah,
And once
the Red and
Azalea
Ledgers,
gets
Memorial
that
Grounds,
cycle
and
going,
Nox.
it's good.
Yep. So then I was 3-2, and I actually got paired up into the X1s and played a fellow Lexi or Ranger player, Elijah. He was on Lexi. It was the only Lexi I played today.
I was gonna say I haven't heard much Lexi that you guys played at all today.
I actually didn't see a lot of Lexi there. I know there were some Lexis in the top.
I think everyone's ready because tomorrow she's gone.
Yeah.
On the 6th.
That makes me want to go like pull the trigger on this purchase here with these gold foils.
Bullseye bracers?
Yeah, dude. I mean, they're already pretty much locked. I just had to get some references on the guy, but I'm probably going to send him a payment after this. But, yeah. I was 3-2, played Elijah. That game felt like, Azalea just did what Azalea's supposed to do. Had some early red and ledgers that didn't stop. There was some really weird, like, I brought in Tar Pit Trap against him, and both times I was able to play them, his Endless Arrows didn't have go again because of my red in the ledger. So he would just like fire the Endless, and I'm like, I can't like not block with this card. Mm-hmm. And it wouldn't, like his Endlesses wouldn't have go again, so then they didn't trigger, so then he would still, and the whole point is to like block his Endlesses or his Heat Seekers with the Tar Pits, and so it was like really weird and kind of it felt
game.
clunky. Yeah, that was kind of the only hiccup in that game. I felt kind of like in control of that game for the most part.
Gotcha.
I sleep darted him once with a face down card, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Like I was like just cooking, and then he just rain razored from Arsenal, and I was like, no.
Whoa.
He actually double rain razored me that turn, but
yeah,
he didn't. I wouldn't say like he did like the typical high ceiling Lexi stuff,
Just was playing.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's kind of why Azalea is slightly favored. You can see it in that type of game where like those red ledgers are just, I mean,
Huge.
yeah,
Massive.
the card's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
We should just call this episode Red and Ledger.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
times we've said that card.
Red in the ledger. It's so strong.
End of the day, 4-2 though.
There you go.
Bubbled out with all the other 4-2s. I think I placed like 17th. So
And how'd the other guys from the shop do? Tanner went.
Tanner went 2-4. Sean went 0-6 and played every game and loved it like Sean does. Shout out to you, Sean. You're the
Good
man.
job,
Who
Sean.
is he on?
Max.
That's right.
Yeah.
Man came to the event today with 40 sleeved token hyperdrivers. Sean,
Do you
I
remember
love you,
telling-
but
do you
what
remember
the
saying how they
fuck?
go to the graveyard?
Yeah.
That's why he did it. And then I was like, I don't know if that's like, we didn't actually get a ruling. So then he asked the judge, and the judge said they actually do, but you can't like banish them.
You can't
with-
like scrap
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't?
You can't.
No, they hit the graveyard and then
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Because if you could scrap them, that'd be. I mean, just
and I think that's why you had said it the one episode, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, I gotta get my hyperdrivers ready."
Yeah.
You know? It was
But
the-
I mean, they do go to the graveyard. They technically are a card now, which is
he
the wild
came with
thing.
a blitz deck of token hyperdrivers.
let's go.
That's why I love Sean.
I know he's
Yeah.
the best.
I have yet to beat his draft crack bobble limit.
Yeah, how many was it? 11
I
or
think it was 11.
Wasn't it 9?
9 or 11? 9? Yeah, it was around 10. Around 10 crack bobbles.
The most I've done was 5 in Prism with the Luminaris.
That
Hey,
actually
it worked
works,
out
though,
fine.
dude.
It worked
Yeah,
fine.
How did that
That's
work?
hilarious.
It was yellow and I had Luminaris. Just pitched my
I
crack bobble
suppose,
and
yeah. Shit.
go off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I was pretty happy though with the results. 4-2 starting like a day like that. You know, we
Yeah.
only get one chance to really, or a couple chances to really do these. So it
Yeah.
sucks to like be prepared, or as prepared as I can be at least, and have that happen to you.
being a
you know,
fab dad.
turn one,
Yeah, being
game
a fab
one,
dad,
you know?
it's hard to make it out to some of those.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's good that we can.
Yeah,
And,
but I think I redeemed myself with the 4-2 after kind of the rough start there.
Yeah.
Played some good players too, and I know Ben and Elijah are both great players. So
Yeah.
it's always
absolutely.
good to test yourself.
Which Ben?
Ben Cumming. Cliff, did you have any judge calls or anything like happen today?
Oh, you mean aside from the one in game 2?
Yeah, beside your feeling uncomfortable with your round 2 opponent.
Yeah. No, I didn't have any judge calls or anything.
No?
No, I
No,
mean,
but the first play of the tournament, I misplayed what I wanted to do, so that was a great start.
Dude, I misplayed my like second turn game 1 so fucking hard.
Against the
game
Icelander?
1,
Yeah.
first turn,
I
I took the Arsenal instead of the third boost for the counter on Hanabi. That ended up being a big mistake.
I like ended up playing like an Ice Eternal for like fucking nothing. Thinking I like saw this line in my head. I had a freezing point in hand, so I was like, oh, like I don't even have to like fuse the Ice Eternal. Like I'll make a couple of frostbites, hit him with the like freezing point. I'll fuse that, like be like a freezing point for like 8 or 9 or something like that. But I did the frostbites on his turn, and I can't play the freezing point until my turn. And we like he went to his end step, and I was just like, fuck, that's right. Like,
Icelander can get fucking confusing sometimes. The mirror is weird.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it?
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
what you know. The question always is.
I think that came up legitimately one time.
Wait, whose turn is it?
I think I was playing like
You
Cliff.
just got done playing, or did I just?
I was playing like Cliff, or it might have been like Kellen on Icelander or something. And we were like 5 minutes into this turn, and I looked up and I was like, "Whose fucking turn is it?" Like we've been going back and forth for like 5 minutes. Where are we?
Yeah.
Well, that gives us a kind of a good segue I want to talk about with Lexi's rotating out, and with the calling Melbourne that happened. Did you guys see the top 8 that was there?
I didn't see the top 8.
I've heard of the final match.
I know Dash
I know
IO made it.
Dash IO was up there.
Yeah,
So-
I know that.
What was
and
her
Missouri
final record?
won.
So the top 8 for the calling Melbourne was 1 Dash IO, 1 Max, 2 Uzuri, 3 Lexi, and 1 Dromai.
Wow. The max.
That's what my converted.
No.
We got to send Sean that list.
No. It was Dash.io against Max in the first matchup. Dash.io took it. And then we had Uzuri facing Alexi. Uzuri took it.
Yeah.
Dromai versus Uzuri. Uzuri took it.
Ooh, wow. I wonder what they did.
Conquered that
Really?
game. Pretty much
So
ran
must have
that game.
something figured out.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch it?
So this Uzuri had Snapdragon Scalers, had like Goliath Gauntlet, I want to say.
Totally just
Tunic.
off the beaten track.
No assassin, like anything like
Weird.
that. Uzuri just ability would be like sometimes he had nimbleisms in the deck and was pumping up death touches and just pushing damage constantly. Just was playing the game well. He took out the dragons right away. Daggers were kind of viable. He ended up not having daggers at the end of the game.
Was he chucking them?
Yeah, he was chucking them, but was able to just eke it out with the shreds. Just nimbleism, death touch, shred.
Wow.
Like 3 turns in a row.
That's crazy.
I
I
mean-
guess Shred's probably good against Dromai. They want to block you.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, they're great at blocking too.
I
That's the
suppose
thing.
you never want to block an assassin though. I still hate playing it.
I hate that
them.
matchup.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do half the time. But and then we had Michael Fang versus Drew Gessler in the Lexi mirror. Michael Fang took that one down. And then we had Dash.io against the Uzuri. Dash.io won. Uzuri against Lexi, Michael Fang. Uzuri won. So then it was a Dash.io against Uzuri in the finals.
What
and
a
Uzuri
fucking
won.
finals matchup, too.
Yeah, it was a
That's wild.
it was a brutal ass match, wasn't it, Cliff?
And that was
Like,
the unique Azuri that won it.
yes,
The crazy
unique, Snapdragon
and-
Scalers,
wow.
yeah.
How cool.
Huh.
Love to see the
Australia is
innovation.
wild, man.
I mean,
It feels really good just having my opinion of Dash.io confirmed that, yeah, draft, she's probably the weakest, but she's got all the tools that the other mechs don't have
I actually meant
to
to
just come out of this set fucking swinging, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, instant speed boom grenade's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. I meant
And
to
she's got the Techlo cores, the Spark of Genius. Like, dude, she's got everything she needs.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you though, Cliff, what was the reason you didn't play IO today and went with OG Dash?
Shout out to Wesley Burns for banning me from playing Dash.io.
that's the only reason why.
What?
He ain't here.
Yeah, that's why I haven't put together a Dash.io.
Okay,
'cause
Wes.
like, you're banned from playing a
Wes, here's the thing.
Dash.io.
Now that Dash.io hit a top 8 at a major event like a calling and went to the finals, Dash.io is going to be flooding the
There was a lot of
meta.
Dash IOs today. There was a lot of like Dash period. Actually,
in
I
general.
saw a lot of. I played 3 fucking OG Dashes, but I also saw some Dash IOs around too. So
I honestly think going into Worlds, we could potentially see a lot of
Dash.io is gonna be
dashes.
should we talk about this like upcoming meta maybe? Just
Yeah,
a good segue
just-
into that.
I think
What do we think? What do we think the
yeah.
top dogs are going to be after Lexi rotates?
the question is whether Dash.io or OG Dash is going to be better. I think
I think that's a
gonna
good
be the
question.
Dash has a very high potential to win Worlds, and if it's original Dash, that puts her at 950 something. So she is
Wait, are
almost
you
LL.
serious?
Is she?
Yes,
She?
because
Up
it's
there?
300 points for a world championship.
She's at
LL
like
points.
600?
She's at 650. So
Dude, that would suck.
so we lose old Dash
I didn't
and
know she
only
was
have
that
to use
close.
Dash.io. Yep. So if OG
I'd
Dash
be so
wins, that's
sad.
950.
Maybe that's why they actually gave us another Dash. Like they did that kind of knowing like
Did
She
they
doesn't have
test
long.
to see if OG Dash was going to be stronger
Wow.
after this? And once that goes, they
and your shirt's 300 points for Worlds.
yes.
Okay.
One I Josh, pull that shit
Pull-
up because
pull that
Bailey
pull
Bailey
that-
doesn't have his
Yeah,
computer.
pull that shit up, Josh.
I got,
Um,
I got,
I think I
you.
got it right here.
I got you. Maybe. Fuck.
It's a race. It's a race. It's a race. It's only 200.
What are
Okay,
we
it's only
looking for?
200.
Oh,
What are we looking for?
Okay, it's only 200, but she is at 682.
I got
That's
so
so-
distracted by the
she's almost
Jeopardy
at-
theme
that's still-
song.
That's still so much.
Yeah, that's still a ton.
And she's close.
And that's not even including all of the like PQs that were today.
Yeah. Wow. I did not know she was that close, man.
Mm-hmm. So we could
Honestly, though,
see her gone.
That would
honestly,
be
though,
wild.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think she's gonna be around for a bit because as much as I love OG Dash and the ability to just start with whichever item you think is going to be the best for that match, I get stuck on Plasma mainline because I like doing shenanigans. I've been subbing in the Pounder more though, but that ability just feels really good. But you don't get to use it. That's why I like the mainline because it kind of acts like her ability is sticking around a little bit then. Dash IO has just this great kit where she's able to opt that top card, and then if it's an item, she can play it. She's the better deck.
Okay, so
Yeah, it does suck that she starts 4 health less,
So-
and that is something to consider for a match between an IO and a regular Dash.
So here's the Living Legend like updated points as of right now. Dash IO has not taken a PQ. Not one. Old Dash has taken 36 points. Lexi took 256. Dromai took 256. Azalea ended up taking 136 points over the season.
Uh-oh. What is she at?
She is at 172, so
Let's
don't
go,
worry. You got a
dude.
long time till she's gone.
Who Azalea?
Buying those fucking bracers.
Do it.
We even have Bravo taking 76, Icelander taking 60, so she is now at 904 going into Worlds as of now without today's PQs updated.
And I think without Lexi in there, there's a decent chance that she performs pretty well.
Icelander?
Yeah.
I think Icelander's still going to be one of the best decks in the next meta.
If she takes Worlds, that would be a huge shakeup with a
What was she at again? Did you
iceless
say?
meta.
I'm sorry.
904.
Okay, so she'd be gone.
I don't
she's
know
close.
if I'm ready for an iceless meta. I like my
Maybe
ice.
we should. I don't know, because she's close to being gone. Maybe we should talk about like what it will be when she's
That is a good
because
question.
that's the question.
That's
what
one of
happens
the
when she's actually
that's
gone
one of
and
the
ice leaves the
last-
format.
last Ice Heroes, Ice Control. Typically, that would be
Yeah.
in the meta. So, what else is stopping that?
What are our control players gonna play?
Uzuri,
Yeah,
Riptide.
it's a form of it. I even think
I
Azalea
couldn't.
is a form
fucking
of
hate
control.
Assassins.
Almost. You do
Guardian.
Guardians.
I
Well,
suppose we are getting a couple, at least one new one.
weekly heavy hitters talk.
Do we know what
coming?
do we know what the Guardian does yet?
No, we haven't seen any of those. I don't think there's any new.
No, not for a
Spoils.
while. I don't. They'll
Bringing
probably drip
Black-
feed us that shit. like
Well,
they
it
do.
comes out right before Worlds.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, because they're drafting heavy hitters at Worlds.
No, they're drafting it at a calling
No,
in the first. Yeah, that's the world premiere, Queenstown.
I'm pretty sure it was Worlds that they're drafting it.
Queenstown. Yeah, in January.
Josh, pull that shit up, dude.
Pulling it up.
I think with the meta shifting and Lexi leaving, I think a lot of players are going to be on, going to be trying the Riptide thing, going to be trying the Azalea thing, and I think a lot of players are going to realize that it's just a much different deck than Lexi. I think when you win a game with Azalea, it kind of feels like work, It feels like you achieved something, whereas Lexi kind of just like oops all cards, sometimes.
Yeah.
Azalea feels like you like did something in that game, like you
True.
fucking had to work for it.
I think we will probably see a lot of Azalea at Worlds too.
Yeah.
Kind of preying on those dashes that we might see, or even like.
I think here's what I think a lot of like good players and pro players are scared of its bad matchups.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's probably not favored into Assassins. I think Bravo is a terrible matchup for her, and I think any deck that plays Warmongers is terrible for her. I don't know if people are really gonna be like
After
playing
Uzuri
the
won,
Warmongers in their sideboards.
after Uzuri won, do you think a lot of people are gonna try to like build that deck
Oh,
and
I
then
already think
use it,
there's
or
some-
do you think people are going to be building against that deck already?
I think people will be playing to beat Dromai. That is the deck to beat, I think.
Okay.
So if you don't have a plan into Dromai, what are you doing? I think Azalea is like actually pretty decent into Dromai. Like it's still probably unfavored, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
But like your Dominate and even your Red and Ledgers are like, I mean,
Still huge.
Yeah. You can kind of ignore their dragons if you have that like turn after turn
Yep.
consistency with Reds or
Because then they're only able to do one thing, and they're only popping out one dragon at most.
and they don't even
then-
get to attack with it.
Yeah.
because the invocation is an action. So
Yep.
it's nice. I've won a lot more like Dromai games than I would have first imagined. Oh, you pulling up the sculpture? Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I saw the sculpture. Yeah, it looks amazing.
Someone's getting. I
Holy
think there's even like
shit.
is there a gold cold foil prism card that someone's getting too or something?
I don't know.
I don't know.
There was like a card that comes with that statue.
That
I saw
Sculpture
this
is
crazy looking cold
Of
foil
like the
prism.
young prism
I
or
think it was
the
old.
the
And it was
new one.
OG prism, not the new one.
Yeah.
Um.
Dude, okay, so we still have yet to even see New Prism, Vincent, Dash, Max, or Teklevasen even get any LL points.
Oh, time will come. There'll be a
I
time
mean, the
Do you
where
Red
guys
Lights
think?
heroes are
Do you
still
guys
pretty
think
fresh.
anybody's gonna try to vet it out and play Teklevasen at
No.
Worlds?
no. I do think there will be a
I
time
think-
though where we'll be talking about Teklevasen and LLing. I think that deck is inevitable. It's going to take time for it to figure things out.
I think it's after
or have other
Icelander
decks leave.
goes.
I mean,
Yep.
he's secretly
After
a guardian.
Icelander goes,
I still
Teklo
think
comes
there's
in.
something to that deck. I don't know, man. Maybe it needs a couple more pieces or something, but
I don't know if you guys talked about it last week. I can't remember. But did we talk at all about like the dual class cards coming back in heavy hitters?
yeah, we mentioned it briefly.
Yeah, on the last one.
We just kind of confirmed that the Welcome to Wraith 2.0 type of theme, with the Brute, Guardian, Warrior
They look
coming back.
They look very interesting. The dual class ones. Mm-hmm. They do deal with a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
So we could be seeing a lot more maybe weapon play in your deck, as in like equipping and using.
I.e. Gladiator?
God, oh my God, give us a weapons merchant,
Bro.
please.
Did you guys see the picture of like the play mat with that dude on it? The very old Guinness that everyone was making
yes,
fun of.
Yeah.
He
Old
looks
Guinness
just looks
is
like
coming.
he looks like Guinness.
He
honest to
does
God.
a little bit.
Honest
We were
to
looking at
God.
the nose ring, though. Why would he have a nose ring when he was young and not old?
That's
Well,
true.
maybe he outgrew it.
That's true.
He matured.
No, you're right.
You
I
know.
still got earrings, I'm
Dude.
young.
I suppose it makes less sense the other way. You
I
get old and you get to have a nose ring and
Yeah.
you're not young.
Would
But he's not
lose-
young in that
I would
photo.
lose my shit if we got like a playable merchant.
Hey, you never know. It could come. But they do say this deals with a lot of gold and stuff like that. Gold and coin, and
Interesting.
I don't know if that means we're gonna
If they give us a fucking
Papa James, give
bro,
it to us.
no.
bounty.
Bailey,
Maybe there's a
If they
keyword bounty.
gave us a merchant as the fourth hero, just put a fucking dagger in the game. So many people are pissed about this bright lights thing and freaking Dust Till Dawn like not hitting, and you give us a merchant as the new class. Could you imagine the uproar?
I would
it needs
be
to be a new
for it.
class.
No.
That's
It does.
not something we've seen. Not a merchant. Give us a merchant or some
Mercenary?
wonky like fucking mercenary. What would mercenary
I
do?
don't know.
Like steal your cards or something, or no? That's like a pirate.
Yar.
No, you could do the mercenary thing where
That's just like
The
an assassin,
cost-
though.
the-
It's just like
the
another word
cost
for
to
assassin.
play. No. But instead of using resource to play your opponent's cards, you have to like use their converted resource cost in silver, copper, or something.
Oh, it's interesting. Actually, I
you
actually
guys
like
That'd be like a merchant thing.
fucking
Do you-
merchant.
if they, I mean, if you were
Yeah,
to go
Merchant
based,
of Death.
if you were to go based off the lore, do you guys think like
I'm just
new
trying to like
hero
hype this
it would
merchant
be?
thing up. Because if
No,
there's like a
I'm
merchant
not- I'm
class
not
in
a
it, if there's a merchant class in it, maybe they give us a spoiler then.
I don't think we'll be getting any spoiler
Bailey-
anytime.
Bailey,
Not even anytime soon. Just anytime.
Bailey likes his
period.
merchants.
It's true.
I tried to make Guinness work for so long.
What were you saying though, Josh?
Do you guys think with like the new set of heavy hitters, do you think they're gonna release like something that they've released in the lore, as in like Necro, or do you think they're gonna release an alchemist with it? Or do
I
you
don't think
it'd
we'd
be-
see like a necromancer.
I don't
for
think that
sure
fits
in
the
this.
theme of heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Neither one of those are. They're both like squishy, weird magic dealers.
Okay.
Squishy
there-
as the World of Warcraft term.
Was there
okay?
any-
They wear
Squishy.
cloth, bro. They're squishy. Get out of the AoEs. You're squishy. What are you doing, you stupid mage? You know, get in the back. Fire your fucking ice bolts. You know.
I don't know. I think LSS is gonna hit it with this one because the last two sets have missed, kinda. I think they're gonna
Not
try to go
even
back to the
kinda.
outsider, like
The
gameplay.
6-0?
And, yeah,
Real balance.
I think a
I
lot of
truly
people
think-
like that.
yeah.
I think they need to inject some power in the game again. I don't think people are digging this like, pull the reins back approach, because that's what these past couple sets have done. You know,
Yeah.
and like it stopped. Like the line was uprising. It was
Yeah.
Fi, Icelander, Dromai. They're all very strong, pushed heroes. After that, the heroes were no longer like pushed. They didn't feel pushed. They would be released. People would try them and go, "Oh, yeah, this isn't viable." I mean, look at. I hate to point at Teklavas and make fun of our boy, but he feels like there's something there, but at times it almost feels like it's not a flesh and blood
Just
deck,
doo-doo,
dude. Like it's
just not-
it's.
Not
I don't
even
know.
just doo-doo,
Anything that
like-
says draw a card, right, is that's the trap. I read his hero ability and I'm like, how can this not be good, And
Yeah.
then just in practice, it's just you have to do quite a bit.
There was so much hype around him, dude.
I
and
know,
it
man.
just-
I'm still there. I got my deck.
I know you'll have that deck until we get some arcane barrier. Then it might be viable to an extent.
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of want to bring it to the armories now, because I'm kind of done doing practicing the PQ shit with Azalea.
Time for,
I know a lot of
time for fun
some of
decks.
our players have expressed being annoyed by all the rangers too. So,
True.
but
You know what? Fuck them kids. I'm still bringing
Well,
Azalea.
with worlds coming up, I want to know everybody's guess on who's winning.
Icelander.
Bailey,
That's
say
a good guess.
Icelander.
I mean, yeah, any tournament she wins, I would not be like, oh, I'm surprised. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, the deck is still like super strong, even when Bailey 06 drops.
03.
Well, what about the armory?
Fuck you.
He's
All right, thanks for joining us this week, ladies and gentlemen.
How about
Bailey just took his headphones off and is currently walking out the studio. Don't go, Bailey.
Cliff?
Wait, no, Bailey, this is gonna be your third O2 drop. No.
Oh no,
Oh shit.
Cliff. What's your guess?
So for who's winning Worlds, honestly, safe bet is Icelander, but I'm not. It just doesn't feel right when I say it. Like, I don't know what it is. I think the hero that takes Worlds is going to surprise people. Like, it's going to be one that's not going to shock, but it's going to be like, oh,
Like a Zuri or
Okay.
something, like a
Reinhardt.
weird. Come
yeah.
on.
I think it's going to be some variation of Arachne or Zuri.
Oh,
wanna
it
get
can't be, no, it
honestly.
won't be Arachne, dude. If you're not like metagaming a shop with that deck, you're not gonna bring it to like a Proquest. Like, if you like are targeting decks, like I get it, but you're not gonna bring that deck to a fucking competitive
You want
event.
to know what
like
I
Worlds,
also
I don't
wouldn't
think.
be shocked about? I really wouldn't be shocked if there was some crazy bastard out there who just brought a Decimator Axe story to Worlds and ended up winning.
I would love that. Just fatigues everyone.
You should have seen Josh perk
just
up there.
perks up. I love it.
I honestly think,
You're right.
especially with
Come
all the
on,
hype
Cliff.
Max
That's
with
not
Lexi
your
leaving.
pick. That's not your pick.
No, it is. All the Lexi.
You're
the
just saying-
aggro deck. The
Lexi's gone.
aggro deck is gone. So
Yep.
you're gonna see Spy, and you're gonna see people picking up OG Dash and the new mechs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are not great matches into a deck that's going to be able to fatigue like the Decimator Axe.
LSS, please unban hypothermia so that we can push Icelander over.
Honestly, if they did, Icelander would 100% take Worlds.
I don't
Not
know.
a doubt in my mind.
I feel like there's like too many good heroes to really like make a good argument for one over the other, honestly, like Dromai is like really good right now.
Yep.
I feel like shit. I mean, a Bravo can get you there, but then it's like you run
Yeah,
into...
Dromai's really good at being a stepping stone for me to crawl back from O2.
Oh, geez, Cliff. She's been, I don't know, man. I was happy to dodge her today. I don't necessarily like that matchup. The dragons can be annoying.
Nah, I've always
listen.
liked the Dromai with mech.
This
I've
is the
always loved that
universe's
matchup.
way of making my wish of dodging the Dromais today come true.
Yeah.
And look where it got me.
Yeah.
I should have kept my fat mouth shut.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Azalea.
No, but for real, what's your answer?
Okay. It's not Azalea. I don't think there's even gonna be much Azalea there, to be honest. I'll probably go like something weird, like a sneaky good Azuri list, some crazy thing that's got it, all decked out with all the tech and everything for each
like it.
matchup,
I like it. I mean, off the back of the calling Melbourne winning, that's not a bad pick.
I'm not
Not even
even
necessarily.
interested to
I don't
see
even
that
know.
list.
I don't know if people will be like bringing that exact list. It's just if you can figure out like the Icelander plan, which I think you just dagger them.
Yep.
I think you just present 2 daggers every turn, and you just mess with their blocks, and they're generally taking that too. And then you just play AB. You just play to your blues, and there's probably something there. I know like that's not probably a good matchup. Even Bravo might be kind of hard for you, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah, Bravo is kind of hard. I mean, just coming over the top, discarding even.
Shit, they say low Dromai is like hard for Azuri too. So
Yeah, I mean, she did win against the Dromai, so.
well, and that just
Might have
goes to
figured
show
it out. Already dead.
just because you have a
great
bad
card.
matchup doesn't mean you automatically lose. Like
True.
sitting down next to, or across from the Bravo today, I was like, "Fuck, man, it's a Bravo," in my head, and I had to kind of stop myself and think like, this is flesh and blood. You can win any of these games.
Yep.
And I ended up winning that game. So like,
It happens.
I haven't won against a Bravo in a while, dude. Like I think it was like 0-6 against them on Talishar in testing.
Holy
Bro, it's been tough trying to. Like,
It is a hard
And I
matchup.
maximized on fatigue shots today.
I'm
Just
pretty sure it's like 30-70, like almost, or like 40-60 Bravo.
I would think it's probably something like
80-20 almost. you think?
15% Azalea, 85. I'm not kidding, dude. Like
Really?
yeah, 80-20 maybe if that's like on a good day. Like you need your Bravos to not see their disruption,
Yep.
And all 3 of his crippling crushers were at the bottom of his deck. He showed me that at the end of the game. That's exactly what I needed for that to like,
Go.
for me to even have a chance. And my fatigue shots were doing work. So
All right, so
is
my
that-
guess,
oh yeah, we got
I'm going to go
Josh's deck.
wild.
Oh god,
Something.
Bolton.
No.
That would be so cool.
Kano.
Nice.
No.
Yes.
I don't.
There was a 9-3 Kano at the calling.
I could see like a weird like Katsu deck coming back.
Dude, Europe's really good with Katsu.
Yeah.
That was my other pick that I was gonna like kind of lean towards.
Katsu's
Like
still there.
Europeans are really good with Katsu, and Katsu's still pretty good. He's a good aggro deck as well. I think with the upgrade, he's almost just as good as 5.
He does a lot of freaking damage.
There was
Yeah.
a couple at
if
the
you
PQ
can get
today,
your
wasn't
dishonor,
Katsu's, yeah.
if you can get your dishonor off, that can make or break a game. Honestly,
there? Dishonor. I hardly know her.
Oh shit! All right, boys, you want to get into our questions here?
yeah,
Yeah.
we got a couple questions. Let's dive into it.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry, I'm in the complaints
Hold
thread.
on.
I was looking at Sean's earlier
We need to
question.
go back, and we need to get Josh. You done some research this week, buddy? Some soul searching for your guilty pleasure that you
What?
chickened out on last week.
What
yeah.
is this?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this the
We
question
asked him-
from
we
last week
asked-
that I
yeah.
missed?
Sully
Sean
asked what our
"What's your
guilty pleasure was,
Ooh.
and Josh chickened out, and he didn't come up with one. So his job was to come up with one. John Bailey's face.
I immediately thought of one.
Oh, you
I
should
don't
give
even-
us one. You should give us
I don't
yours.
even know if I
You
want to
should.
say it.
Oh, it's the best. This is why this is the best question. It makes people so
Lotion.
uncomfortable.
Paper towels.
fuck?
Hear me out.
That's not.
Hear me out.
Oh, I don't know if I want to.
Oh, Jesus.
He's been looking at that
No, okay.
fucking data doll blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanted to get Cliff?
The data doll pillow.
Oh, God.
No,
Hey,
my
we're talking about your guilty pleasures, not mine.
okay. So my guilty pleasure, I guess you could say, is Legos.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
answer.
dude. Once we
I was,
get the
I was
cameras
sitting
rolling
here and
in here
I,
again,
it hit me afterwards. I was like, oh, dude, this. Look
This
at this
is the
room.
guilty
Look at our
pleasure, yeah.
studio, dude.
Yeah.
y'all are gonna see once we get the
Surrounded-
cameras rolling in studio again. We are surrounded by Legos.
Yeah. It's fucking cool.
Literally surrounded.
Love the aesthetic in here. Good thing you got Star Wars.
Star
Legos
Wars
too,
guy.
you know?
You gotta be.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could get more.
Thanos is
But
gauntlet
I'm
back
running out
there
of
in the
room in
shocker.
here. I almost need to get like a low key shed.
Shed
build
of
like a
Legos?
mini, just build like a mini shed studio out
Yeah,
back.
dude.
Or
You're like a
something.
serious collector. That's
Get
yeah.
well, I mean, just like build our studio in a shed.
I thought you meant for your Legos, bro.
No,
What the
yeah.
fuck?
Well, yeah, it needs to be a bigger room than this. So
Yeah.
our Legos need to go in the studio, and our studio needs to go somewhere.
I
So
thought you were trying to pack them up and make
Josh
a room.
is
A
kicking
heated
us out of the
shed.
studio.
Yeah, what the fuck?
a heated shed studio.
Bailey,
I
did
don't
you have
know.
one? Did you want to go? Or
It's so embarrassing. It's so
that's the
stupid.
best part.
My guilty pleasure is probably simulator games. I put way too
Oh,
much time
boy.
into them, and to be fair to myself, most of the time I play them, I am not in a sober state of mind. But I think my record is a 5-hour run of lawn mowing simulator.
No way, dude. I do that in real life,
Dude.
bro.
Dude, I have like a full.
coming home, Josh, and hopping on lawn mowing simulator.
Dude, I have like the fucking steering wheel, gas pedal set up. I'm like sitting there
No.
in VR and my like riding lawnmower, just like. I played Power Washing Simulator for a while.
No way, my kids have played that game. Dude, they fucking downloaded that on Xbox
Dude,
one day.
honestly-
I come home and I'm like, what the fuck are
honestly-
you playing? And they're just
honestly-
sitting there cleaning a shed.
Yes.
I'm like, what?
Dude, the house builder game, the house builder is goated too. You start
Oh.
building houses from scratch.
I
Amazing.
am a big fan of both ATS and Microsoft Flights, American Truck Simulator and Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
ATS and VR is so relaxing. Like I just get behind the wheel of my big rig, tow what the fuck ever, like all the way across the West
chugging.
Coast,
Just chugging.
or I'll just go fly planes around like wherever.
That's a good guilty pleasure. You get to
Yeah, that
you
is
get
a
to
good one.
live somebody
Like,
else's life essentially.
I-
for the time being.
I've gotten way into it. I have like so many different setups for like all these games. Like I have like the racing wheels and everything for like Forza and all these other like driving simulators.
Bailey's
I have,
got
like,
the fucking system that has the pull start on
I-
it and shit.
I have 2 different flight control systems for my flight simulator. So I've got the like fighter jet like throttle and stick.
Nice.
And then I've got the like straight up passenger jet like yoke and like throttles and
That's awesome.
I bought into it pretty hard.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
Hey, no, those are fun though.
It's just relaxing.
I always love watching people just like on lives on like TikTok. I'm a TikTok guy. Hate to say it out there to the listeners that don't.
maybe
like
that
it,
could have been
but,
your guilty pleasure. Fucking TikTok.
I love watching people just shift and drive like wildly on that.
Yeah.
And like
That's
I
my
wonder, are
next
you actually a
investment.
good driver if you're doing stuff like that in game?
It's my next investment for my racing sim is a manual shift lever.
Get the-
They're-
get the
yeah,
whole thing,
yeah, they
yeah.
have like a nice Logitech one. I think
Oh,
you
you're already
can, like,
looking into them, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get a separate shift knob that has 18 gears for truck
Jesus.
simulator.
Jesus. 18 on the stick, buddy. That's...
Dude, I've looked at some of the more like complicated setups for these things, and you can go way deeper than I have. Like
Oh,
there
yeah.
are dudes that have full like 5 monitor, like legitimate like airplane cockpits in their home with like
Yeah.
all the like gauges and everything. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's wild.
I saw this dude. He had a truck simulator with a fucking passenger seat. I was like, who the fuck is coming down there and just sitting next to you while you play? Like, hey Jim, pass me the McDonald's. What?
Fucking awesome.
This man probably has like a sleep.
up the hookers on the side over there.
This man has like a fucking sleeper cab in the back, and he'll like take breaks. I bet he takes breaks in his simulator setup. He's like, "Well, yeah, we've been driving for 8 hours today. We hit our hour, so
Goodness.
Touch grass.
yeah, go play lawn mowing simulator
Yeah.
like a real man."
I'm
Hop
kidding.
on that John
kidding.
Deere
I'm
and-
totally kidding. All right, let's dive into some of our other listeners.
Sorry, I kind of got off the rails with that.
No, you're good, dude. That was a good one. That was a fucking really good one.
Oh.
Sully asked us, we only have 2 questions this week. Sully asked, when is the first guest going to appear on the pod? It's actually a good question.
That's a good question.
I was thinking we
As
would
soon as
do...
Post Malone responds to Josh.
Oh, yeah, that
Did
is
you
right.
send him a message?
Yeah, added at him. Send him a message.
I added at him.
Yeah, that went about as well as all the Tinder messages I had, didn't it?
There, I'll
Hey, that's on you, man.
shoot him from the official podcast email. And,
No, I was thinking, though, eventually, like, we want to have, what some of our locals on, even
See if
just,
we can
like,
get
for
that-
interviews or
see if
just
we can
to
get that Cobra
ask them
Kai
a couple
guy.
questions on, their outlook on the game and stuff.
Maybe on our Wraith
Sam?
review episodes, we can get them in to get their input on like some cards or
Could even
something
ask 'em
for,
about
like,
the set or-
specialists. Yeah,
I know Sean's been just raring to go.
I know. Sean, we need to get you on here, buddy. I'd
I know
love
we
to
always
have you
talk
on.
I'm
about
gonna
Sean.
bully the shit
man,
out
it'd
of
be so
Sean if
cool to
we
get
him
like
on here.
Yuki Lee Bender on to talk Rangers or some shit.
No, yeah, like, it would
I-
be
like-
awesome to get, like,
Logan and
or just any
Derek.
of, like, the well-known,
That
fab players, but
honestly is what like really sucks.
I don't know
me
if
into
we
the
have
game.
like the demographic for it. Like we're very much like fuck this and fuck that.
Well,
not
be
like that.
well, we mix in with Flesh and Pod pretty well. I feel like. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like we just shoot the shit.
Yeah.
But
And- Actually, he's Logan said that they're having Kiki on today. Kiki Labatt, and she's like one of the early adopters of the game.
Oh,
She
really?
was like top to calling and good player. So I know they have people on like and
Yeah.
stuff, and they can do it. I would say that we're a little more like I don't know. We have a little more don't give a fuck about us.
we're the Joe Rogans of Flesh and Blood.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. You say that to the wrong person, they'll fucking be like unfollow. But yeah,
I mean-
so I don't know what the answer
Yeah,
is to
Joe
that, Sean.
Rogan in what sense that we're like fucking
Oh, yeah, let's
blasted
get
when
Joe
we record.
Rogan on here.
Well, I mean, we also record. Well, some of our pods, I think, recently have been about an hour. We've been trying to
Yeah.
not go too long, but
Yeah.
we've gone pretty long. Some of them.
Hey, fucking Dylan said he wants us to go longer.
I know. Yeah, I know. It's to make up for all his
He's a
lack of
menace.
fab play.
I was like, listen, like the
He's about to have his son,
I know,
so
it's
it's like
very
any day
soon,
now.
yeah.
I'm so excited for him.
2 hours for me feels like the max. Like there's only so much you can talk about in a week. Like
It feels like that, but then like we'll be done with those long ones, and it's like, dude, we just did like 3 hours, and when you cut it down, it'll be like 2.5 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like it's I don't know.
I always enjoy doing the pod.
I think we got something good, man.
Yeah.
I think we got something good going on. I don't mean to like talk shit about us. I just mean like
The fact that we can go for
I can't
2
picture
hours and, like,
us
not
fucking
realize
interviewing a legit player is all. Like it's just I don't know. You'd have Cliff down there
Nah,
fucking
it would
talking
be-
from
it
a
would be
hallway, asking
It'd
crazy
be
questions.
awesome. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, we could
Look
have
at-
fun with the
first
pod
question,
and go. I mean,
why
with the
is Wish your
guests.
favorite card, and why is it not in your deck?
Wait, Moon's Wish? Is that what you just said?
Yep.
I feel like we're kind of. I mean,
Fucking Moon's Wish.
I don't want to. Never mind.
no,
You gotta
no,
say
you
it.
can say it.
You gotta
Just
say it
say
now.
it.
No, I was gonna say I think we're kind of like the Fresh and Buds, but literally it's just Tommy Fresh getting guests on every single week. That deals.
I don't
with
think
Fresh
we're
and
like
Buds.
any podcast, dude. I think we're who we are.
Yeah.
I think we're like all adults that love the game, and we honestly just come here to hang out with each other and we record it. That's what I think happens.
Yeah.
And then people will listen and they either love it or they're gonna hate it. And I think we just have to take that on the chin. And I think that we are gonna have a lot of people that don't like us. I just think that we have kind of like a rough
taste.
around the
Yeah.
edges about us that is just
No, it's good. I enjoy doing.
And when
it.
I say I don't see us doing that, it's just like I couldn't picture us. It's not that I don't
No.
want to or think we can't. I think it would be awesome to have
It-
even some of our local players like Andrew Rothermel or like
That's- I
Dylan
think
Myers,
we
like
will
some of these guys that
eventually.
like I know and have talked to over the years and stuff. Like even to just have them on for a segment. or
No,
something would be
I
cool.
think we will eventually.
yeah. So,
it's one of those things where it'll kind of just come organically, like as the show.
there's also
evolves,
4 of us too,
and-
which is hard to interject a fifth. Even four of us is kind of hard to not talk over each other all the time and stuff, you know. So like four hosts is, you know.
All right,
You trying to
next
say in a
PQ,
nice way
whoever
that 4 is
finishes
too
with the
much?
worst record-
Not at all, Bailey. Not at all. Look, he's gonna take his fucking headphones off. He's out the door again.
No, it's just we don't really have. I mean, like it's hard to like. We have to kind of coordinate.
Well, when
and
he
we're just
asked-
getting a feel for like time wise.
Yeah. We're still getting a feel for it. And
We're
when
still
he asked
building
this,
the pod.
when he asked this, it was kind of like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. Podcasts do that. They do have guests on, and it's like that hasn't even like hit our brains really quite yet, you know.
Tonight's kind of odd in the sense that we're recording so late. Most of the time, just to like work around everyone's schedules, we're recording at like 7, 8 in the morning.
Yeah, dude.
And when you factor that
Oh
in
no,
for
it's brutal.
when you factor that in for other time zones, like especially like out on the West Coast, even just in the U.S., like that's like 5 or 6 a.m. for
Yeah, that's 5 a.m. Yeah.
like
Yeah, no,
West Coast people. Like, who's gonna want to be like, oh yeah, I'll get up at like 5 in the morning to go talk on a podcast? I mean, I know I would be like, well, maybe I'd still be awake, but
yeah.
yeah, true. You're the night owl.
yeah. No, hey, these 10, 11 o'clock recordings are like perfect for me.
No, to answer
Yeah,
it
I'm
though,
like
Sean,
hanging on by a thread over here.
we're just trying
Dreaming in my
to
bed.
feel it out. We're trying to still, coordinate everything. We still got to figure out some more depth in pod. Plus, we're still on only the 14th episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah,
then
dude.
again, we are on the 14th episode.
We made it past 10, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think we'd make it past
Yeah.
3.
It's in like some crazy number, like just stop after 10. Of,
No, I
like,
mean,
podcasts or...
you look at
Yeah.
some of the pods and stuff that
A
have
lot of them
started.
don't make it past 10 episodes. Or even, I think it's like 5 for that fact. Because it's just like timing, coordinating everything. And it is a lot. I mean, especially
especially
Oh, it's
the
definitely
more
been
you have
taking-
on the show. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like, I don't want to like say
It
this
takes
like
up
it's
a
a
lot
bad
of like
thing,
your
but it's
personal life
taken
too. If you're
quite a
doing
bit
the-
some weeks to like coordinate this between everyone.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like even tonight, it was like, well, shit, do we like push it off until like a Monday or a Tuesday night? And
Cliff works afternoon, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So I can only work like
Bailey
after
works
work.
until, like,
or
10.
Y'all
after
are
work.
welcome for making it hard. You're welcome.
no,
this was
I'm not.
perfect.
Here all
Yeah.
week.
No. we're not bashing
No,
anyone.
Yeah.
I appreciate that we figured it out so that I'd be able to record. Because I was honestly just going to tell you guys to record the episode.
Well,
I
no, we
don't want to
also
keep you guys too late.
wanted the episode to be mainly Proquest talk and our
Yeah.
results
Well,
and
yeah,
stuff, and,
especially
and what we ran into today. So that was
Especially since
part of
went
it.
Cliff.
Yeah,
To
Yeah.
the Proquest.
yeah,
Like,
man.
you gotta talk
Sad
about
that
your
Josh
results.
couldn't come. I mean,
Yeah.
it was cool. We all got to do the armory, but that we were close to having the whole BD crew there.
Yeah.
When I saw Logan there, I was like, gosh, I hope I play him. If he's cool to just
play against and see and
yeah,
talk
yeah,
to.
yeah, network a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Just get to know more people.
Yeah, I've only
Yeah.
played him the one time and met him in Mankato, I think, and maybe one other time other than that. But yeah, it was a pleasure to play against. It was cool as hell.
Good, fun.
Mm-hmm. So
We got one more
We
question.
got one other question this week.
You want to go ahead, Bailey?
Yeah.
This is a good one
This is
because
a
I've
good
actually
one.
when I first was introduced to this one, I didn't understand it in the rules.
I saw this on my drive home, and I've been thinking about it
Tanner
since
lost to a Spellbound Creeps.
then. I kind of figured it was coming
Vince said
from
on
something
Spellbound,
like that.
and that's
It
and,
sounded like
um,
something from a room.
and he even came out to me
matchup when I
afterwards and
read
was
it.
talking to me about it, and I'm like, yeah, that works. That's a thing.
It does
but
that,
why don't you
yeah.
go ahead and ask the question?
Yeah, so Tanner asks, how do you guys feel about playing an action card with go again as an instant and getting another action point? I think in general, it's such a niche interaction
Doesn't happen
that
often.
a lot of players in general just won't encounter it, especially in I would say mostly armories and stuff. If you're
Yeah.
playing at that level,
Yeah. Unless you get
Unless someone's like a
local
Rune Blade,
testing,
Spellbound
Yeah.
Creeps guy.
but even as a pretty heavy, I would consider myself a pretty heavy Runeblade player. I've dabbled in Briar. I'm really going at Vincent right now. It was an interaction that I didn't even understand for a while.
Yeah, 'cause,
getting into playing the class because it just feels so
It does feel weird. It feels
Weird.
unintuitive.
Yeah,
Go
the
ahead.
first time it happened to me, my jaw dropped. When the guy played out the Spellbound Creeps and got the action point back, I just went, Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think I was
awesome.
playing against Carter.
I thought it
and-
was the coolest shit ever. He killed me with it, but I was like, that's amazing. I love it. That's
Yeah.
spicy. That's the whole ass paprika right there, baby. We cooking.
The whole
Yeah.
ass paprika. Yeah.
I think it's especially relevant in Vincent,
I
because
think
there
that's
isn't
who
a lot
Tanner
of
lost to,
ways like organically for her to gain go again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of, especially with her, like rely on that interaction. But I don't know. I don't have like a problem with it at all. I think like that's definitely what they intended when they made the card. And it's just another sneaky way to keep pushing damage. Not
Yeah.
even sneaky necessarily, but
And like I know, so like if a card has go again already and you give it go again some other way, like that's a common question with new players where if you have double go again, you know, they'll be
Yeah.
like, do I get 2 action points? And you don't.
no.
But this is kind of like that, where
Yeah.
you know what I mean, where like the go again resolves after, or you gain the action point in the resolution step, I believe. That's how
Yep.
go again works.
Yep.
So the card resolves as an instant, and then the go again will like give you the action point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you have one or whatever already.
Yeah.
And one deck that I can think of other than, or like the Spellbounds, I know they do that, but my Brainstorm Kano
Yes.
lives off of that, you know, where you're playing all of those weird blue talismans off the top for 0, and you're only doing that to gain the action back. So you're you know, pitching the Kano, opting, and you're looking at all these talismans and playing them out as instants to gain those actions back.
Yep.
And then you're using up your actions throughout the turn to combo your opponent off or whatever, play your tomes, play your, you know. So it's
Yeah.
actually like that whole deck functions.
Because you're dealing damage off of the amount of cards you're drawing, kind of, correct?
Yeah, you play Brainstorm, and it's for every card that you draw, you deal damage, and then you continue to Potion of Luck them and like dump your hand, draw 7, or I'm sorry,
Dump your hand, draw 4
usually,
or 5.
yeah, you try to have that arsenal so you can draw up to 5, and then
Yep.
you can. There's a ton of different ways where you can filter your hand and like build up. That deck is so terrible, but it's such a fun puzzle to try to solve. and when he asked this question, it made me immediately think
It's
of that
Brainstorm?
deck because
Yep.
you're constantly, like I said, playing those items that are actions with go again, and you're playing them at instant speed. So it's kind of a weird, tricky little thing that works within the rules. And yeah, it feels weird. It's kind of a feel bad, you know, when you're first introduced to it. You just got to be aware of that, you know, from here on
and
out,
I think
Tanner.
like a lot of people's first like introduction to that kind of interaction.
Yeah, it
is
feels
gonna
like it
be
shouldn't
to
work.
like
Well, it's
take
even,
the game or something.
It's even to the point if you're like new to it and you ask to read it and you read it, you have
you'd
to
be like-
read it like
you'd-
5 to 6 times
Well, yeah,
to
if-
fully even understand what that
If
card
you don't
even
know,
does.
go again gives you the action point, like as it resolves.
Yeah.
You like a new player would say, oh, you don't just get an action point.
Yeah.
Like if you have to kind of understand the rules on that like,
Yeah.
deeper level to like get the interaction.
True. I don't know.
But yeah, it didn't feel right when I first learned about it. I was like, dude, that's so weird. And
Whack.
yeah,
'Cause
whack is a good word.
Because it
That's
came
whack.
out, it came out with Toa, so it was like dealing with like force of nature and like half those other actions that you were using for Briar during that time. So I don't know. I mean, it was his Spellbound creeps, right? That he was talking about.
Yeah.
that had happened too. Okay, so that would make sense.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I fucking knew it as soon as I read that question too. I was like, oh, he got creepered.
Creepered, I like that. What are we playing, Minecraft? My son. Yep.
I think
It's a creeper, Kennedy, run.
I think we did have one other question that Tanner actually asked last week.
Oh, did he? Oh, did we? Yeah, we might have missed some.
Because we were running late last week.
Is it the backup protocol? No.
Yeah, about the backup protocol.
I thought we answered that one.
Did we?
You know, I was thinking like we could maybe even try to get Sean in on a little interview or something next week. And next week is gonna be kind of slow. It's not gonna be much news.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing a
Draft.
a sealed.
Sealed.
We're gonna be doing a
prepping for
sealed bright
skirmish.
lights. Yeah, prepping for our skirmish the following weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, we got a skirmish?
Yeah.
In 2 weekends, yeah.
2 weekends.
Yep. Bright lights sealed.
What
Dude,
weekend?
I'm gonna be going to Bright Light Sealed because I've been ripping
Oh,
hot.
fuck.
Armory packs were hot.
Yeah. I pulled the X23 from one of my packs today.
X3?
Or
Hyper X3?
X. Okay, I always fucking call it Hyper.
As did I,
X23.
but you got the full art. I just got
Yeah,
another
extended.
rainbow.
Yeah, bro.
Wait.
It was me and Elijah's game.
it
And the winner would get the pack. They would come and put a pack down in between, for every round you played, and whoever won would get the pack.
They
So it was
never
cool. Source gave out packs today, which they don't.
Typically
I
don't.
don't think I remember them doing that
No,
at the other ones.
That was cool. So I got to open some spice. I think that card's like $70.
It is.
It'll
Skirmish
help
is the
my
18th?
bracers fund. Oh yeah. I need that. Josh is looking at a Marvel over there. Marvel Evo. I'm still missing 6. I need 6 of them. I only have 2.
What about the Colpo Genesis?
Dude, again, I'm waiting for that to tank more. I'll get it from you eventually.
Is the skirmish on the 18th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Josh, just trade him for that first ed box of crew.
You get to go? Hell yeah, dude. Hey, we should stream it.
Ooh,
We
that's
should
a
stream it.
great idea.
I think we should. We should show up early and get it set up.
Isn't that the same weekend as Worlds?
Is it?
Isn't it the 17th through 19th of November?
That would suck.
That's fine. We can outcompete the world stream.
Well, I thought, weren't we going to do something with you?
I wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, I know how it goes, man. Hey, at least we could have Worlds on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the shop.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to do that while we're streaming though. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Did you find Tanner's other?
No, we already answered it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fucking
It's okay.
tired,
Okay.
boys.
No, same. You guys.
Oh
had a
yeah, just
mentally
tired.
fatigued
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm still up doing this. When
know.
I was driving home,
Second-
Yeah,
damn,
God,
this is
oh,
awesome.
Second-winded.
so mentally fatiguing today.
I didn't even play it.
Yeah, okay, Mr. O2.
Hey,
drop.
hey, hey. 03.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I'm gonna wear that like a
pissed.
badge of honor
He
now.
flexed at me. 03, bitch.
Come in.
You better fucking get it right, dude. Oh shit. All right, on that note,
Man, what you
boys,
talking about? 02. I want 03, bitch.
Get the fuck out of here.
Thank you for joining us on episode 14 of Big Deck Energy and joining us for this long PQ talk. Next week, we're going to be diving into episode 15, and we'll see what brings us. And then in 2 weeks, we have Worlds. So we'll have a lot to talk about after Worlds happens. But
I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll talk a little bit about Worlds meta and what we think. I mean, we talked a little
Possibly
bit about
streamer
that.
skirmish.
Well, yeah,
figure that
maybe
all out.
see Hero Almost Living Legend or Living Legend. We'll see.
Yep.
My money's on Icelander.
But join the Discord. We always drop it in the bio or the show notes of the episode. So check us out there. Check us out on Twitter and join us next week as we talk about anything.
And everything. Fat.
All right, boys.
See ya.
Have a good one.
Peace.